Amazing evening, Nigerians. Thank God it's Thursday, right? Because I'd always look forward to every Thursday for Inside the Show. I'd always be excited to some particular days because of the, kind of conversations and we say we get. Just like I'd also be excited about the show other days too. My name is Precious and you're welcome to the show. So it is Beasling in West Africa. As Guinea Bissau, don't what is going on in Guinea Bissau? Waiting they go on. As I speak to you, ECOWAS leaders get to hold the emergency meeting. Say no, 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 no. We cannot let this to be happening anyhow in Guinea Bissau. If it happen like this, then what is going on? Well, welcome to the show. Another day to talk about things when they happen for inside Nigeria. Bring them up to date with all the matter demand. Today, not Thursday, so I get my new Thursday tonic for inside the house. And you know how I'd always be excited to hear from our guy, Dr. Catch on the I'll let you in. I'll let him in very, very soon. But make a run through the headlines when we get today. Sharply, sharply, sharply. Now, Tinubu, West African leaders hold emergency virtual meeting as the panic over Guinea-Bissau coup. All right. Guinea-Bissau still did the news though because it full everywhere. In fact, as they talk to you, African Union, ECOWAS say no, 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 they no support this kind coup will happen for Guinea-Bissau. So they don't come on their body, say they don't like them at all at all. And then Senate President Godswill Fabio in panic, as in the show and video of bandits, truck laden, armed laden truck for somewhere around Zaria area. When people say, everybody now don't they wonder what is going to where that truck they go. Okay, we'll talk about that. One dead policeman, others injured as gunmen attack Chris Ngige's convoy in Anambra State. They say not be smarting remain or that Chris Ngige for don't be forgotten stories. Smarting remain, but it be like saying God they alive. Now you bandits abduct 24 in fresh attacks on Niger communities. Even after all these things, they continue. Even after the state of emergency and security, they don't even want rest at all at all. Bandits attack 18-seater bus on Osokoko Obanja Road in Kogi, abduct passengers. That one said day. Terrorists strike Abuja community hours after Tinubu's emergency declaration. Kidnap 7 residents. That one said day ground. Police confirm abduction of 10 farmers in Niger State communities days after school abduction. That one said day. Amnesty International confirms 400 killed in Imo State in 3 years due to gunmen attacks and reprisals. 3 years, 400 killed in Imo State. Very sad. Kidnapped Edo couple pleads for help as gunmen threaten to sexually violate pregnant wife, demand 50 million naira ransom. This is very worrisome. And then insecurity, Tinubu sets up 10-man committee to negotiate with US government. Everything what they do, the committee that in the solve them. So they worry about though, or guys better call, they follow for the committee. We'll go sit down, can't negotiate with US government. Are you kidding me? Don't kidding me. All right, let's move on to other issues. Over 11,000 police escorts withdrawn from VIPs redeployed to frontline duty. This is according to IG. Insecurity, terrorists, not foreigners, but Nigerians. So we know them. Sheikh Husani and they talk this one. And then we'll move on to politics. Ignore my political choices. Worry about age of your own leaders. Atiku replies APC. Why not they give each other gospels like this? Lamido gives PDP 10-day ultimatum to dissolve Ibadan elective convention, resolve crisis. And then, just before we set out, violence erupts in Abia's Okwa East Council as political rivalry leads to 2 officials hospitalized. We'll also look into this. So this and other matter, then now would look this evening. It's always excited to be with Una, to sit down with Una, to talk about matter we get to do with our Nigeria. So that one day when Nigeria go finally better, we will talk, say, yes, now all of us join together, make Nigeria better. Okay. I'll be just one straight ahead introduce my guest to network. Don't carry and come up for inside studio again. Or this our village people. It be like say some days like this when they know so we get important conversation. They didn't let us rest at all at all. Okay. All right. Let me get him back. Okay. All right. I'll try to get Dr. Catch again. Um, all right. Okay. All right, so I'm trying to reconnect with Dr. Catch again because network just kicked him out of the studio just now. Welcome to the show, my people. It's always the exciting to talk about Nigeria matter with all of us. So let's get started with the conversations. As he said in the hot this evening, we could begin to talk about them. First of all, I don't hear the things that will happen for inside Guinea Bissau and how EU don't react to what happen for Guinea-Bissau. Sorry, not EU, rather AU, African Union, and ECOWAS itself react to what happen for Guinea-Bissau. And people are just saying that wait. Should we all be reactive? How about ECOWAS leaders come together and tell themselves the truth about the role what did they play for this kind of things happening? Good evening, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Kachinonoji, for joining us. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir.
I also say thank you to your audience.
Thank you. Thank you. This my audience said, no worry, we'll do you something. When we grow up, we'll spoil you. When we grow up, we're growing. When we grow up, we'll spoil you. So, sir, before we get into Nigerian conversation, where they humongous, let's look at what's happened in Guinea-Bissau. What's in he speak about this whole thing we don't happen for Guinea-Bissau now, and they don't name the leader for the 1 year transitional period where they go get, even though say AU and ECOWAS missions don't reject the takeover, but it doesn't really matter as we speak now. They're on the emergency meeting, but what does it speak of?
Well, first, ECOWAS is also part of the problem, and the AU, they keep mute when there are abuse of rights in the states. They look at the one who went to talk on behalf of Nigeria that there are no killings. Who asked him to go and start lying? When member states do wrong thing and you cannot advise them to do the good parts, you are indirectly leading him it. Then the people will just react and things will go crazy. So ECOWAS and AU cannot exonerate themselves from the crisis in their zones. I am happy that the coup leaders escorted President Goodluck out of the country.
No. I'm telling you, because he would have been trapped.
So he is home now, and that is a good one.
All right. So this wave around West Africa.
Well, the wave around West Africa,
yes,
the West African leader kept quiet as the Fulani war across West Africa raged. They didn't come together to fight it. As people like President Buhari were funding and helping the Fulani war rage, like in Nigeria, as you can see now, the problem we have here now is we have suddenly woken up due to the US intervention, and you can imagine what we're now noticing. They are everywhere. They are even now trying, because for the first time, the army seems to be changing the doctrine of do not engage. And they are engaging. So due to the armies engaging, the Fulani terrorists are running helter-skelter, leaving their previous abodes to now invade towns. I don't mind the initial problem and pandemonium, but with time we will get them. If you follow the news, you will have heard what happened in Bayelsa. As they got in there,
my Egbesu brothers were not joking with that. So was that not too much?
But that's
that
what
was a heavy blow.
what Nigerians
and there were lots
should
of
do.
them.
What the problem was President Buhari purposely disarmed Nigerians and took off our guns, and then those Fulani militias to come into Nigeria from different countries with guns. When they came in, they were looking for land. President Buhari tried to get land for them from the National Assembly through laws. The lands were not given. And that's why you saw them now decided to help themselves by using of ethnic cleansing actions to gain land. And even as we speak, Fulani leaders are pretending they're Nigerians. They're not Nigerians. There are no Nigerians fighting other Nigerians for land.
So you do not
There
agree
is
with
no
people like
farmer
Sani
said
that
that's
they are
correct.
Nigerians? You don't agree with him that they're Nigerians?
Shehu Sani is just a typical Fulani liar. This is what they're playing. They're trying to lie. They are lying. Listen, I know this case. I have followed this case for 13 years of my life. No other Nigerian has spoken as much as I have on our national television about this issue. Sheikh Hussein is lying. There are no Nigerians leaving Sokoto, Zamfara, or Katsina to go and fight to take lands in Benue, fight to take lands from 64 communities in Plateau, fight to take lands in the Mambila Plains in Gembu in Taraba, fighting to take lands in. This is not true. So when you see them make all these lies, they lie, telling you grazing. It's got nothing to do with grazing. The grazing we knew, but yes, the new wave of Fulanese who came in because of the war with their cattle from other countries, we are also now using the cattle as a strategy for surveillance. They will come into your community with cattle. They will use it now as a forward operating base to scan around the places. At night, the militias will come in, kill the owners of the place, take over their land. Buhari's government, Fulani Kaba, will now push them into IDP camps. Whereas these four new foreigners will come and stay in their new lands. This is the game in Plateau. This is what we've seen in Southern Kaduna. These are not Nigerians. If they are Nigerians, where did they live? Where is their home? No Nigerian will be allowed by his state, local government, or governor leave his place and go to live in a bush somewhere else. It's not true. It does not exist. So if Sheikh Hussaini tells you, he's just lying. The problem is all of them are liars. They have some modicum of truth when they trick you. That's takia. But who they are when they come into their full elements, this is, if you want to know who the Fulani man is, study their experience with the Hausas. They came in with the same rhetorics. But look, no Hausa man is emir in Hausa land. Hausa land is now, according to UNESCO, the home to the largest concentration of humanities children without access to formal education. It is because of what they are, a curse to every place they visit. As I speak to you, they do not have any recorded history of peacefully coexisting with us Africans anywhere on the continent. They are fighting against the Dogons in central Mali. They are fighting against the Mandinka in Guinea. They are fighting against the TV in the Benue Valley. They are also fighting against the Yoruba in the Oyo Forest Reserves. They are the ones you heard that were killed in Bayelsa some 72 hours ago. Why is it only them? They are the ones in Niger State killing the Igbagi, Nupes, killing Yorubas in Kwara. Why is
Do
it
you not think that there will
only
be a
them?
reprisal attack in the Benue in the Bayelsa incident? You don't think say they will get a reprisal attack? Then go fit storm the place and make sure
They
say
will
they
not get anything. Through history, you will understand the only language violent people understand is violence. That's the only language they do. It's just that the same thing you're seeing is exactly what happened during the Good Luck era. The Fulani leaders will be telling the president, no, leave it, we can handle it, don't do this. And then suddenly, the people will be multiplying everywhere. This is the truth. How come no other ethnicity has been listed by the U.S. By the U.S. Congress and also the international terrorism tracking journals? The Fulani does. Why is it so? You saw what Ghana said about them. They will not tolerate this nonsense in Ghana.
So, but why
Ghana
they need
is
to do
not
this thing for
Nigeria.
Ghana? They need to do them for two. They need to do them around Africa, other African countries. Why in Nigeria did they so emboldened?
Because the Ghana, if this look, the Ghana government would mean force if force. The Ghana government even said if you see them ranching cattle in the open, kill it. But when you kill the cattle, don't eat it alone. Eat it with your neighbor so that whenever anybody goes to report, you will have witnesses to say, yes, we did this. This is what happened. This is a problem. I always envisaged that we will come here. During the Buhari era, my mind was we will get to a point where when we start to do something, we'll become another mini Somalia. Now we're here. Now that Buhari, Tinubu, due to the American interventions, is now beginning to act. You saw it. Now, even as Tinubu started to act, to change instructions to the troops, what somebody still had the audacity to phone and ask the troops stationed in a school in Kebbi State to be withdrawn. That means, despite what Tinubu says and what the army chief says, there are peoples who have penetrated the ranks and file of the army and other security services who do share this sympathy for the cause of this jihadist. When we thought about suggesting state police to the federal government, it was for this, because we believed that the security services have been penetrated by Buhari, and it will not be proper for you to now think you have to disband the security services. No, let them stay. But create services that will now be owned by the states, that will be peopled by the indigenous people. Tinubu at the beginning was going with this idea. But along the line, the Fulani lobby came and they stopped Tinubu in his tracks. But because of Donald Trump's intervention, suddenly Tinubu has now woken up again, as if jolted from his dreams, and he's beginning to back instructions. And that was why you heard him say a national security emergency. And what do you have?
Yes, but after he don't call that national security state of emergency, I mean security emergency, a lot of attacks don't happen, including for your Abuja. A lot of attacks, a lot of other attacks have happened,
There
and
is nothing
Nigerians are
wrong.
worried.
There is nothing wrong. That's okay. Those are the natural reactions that will come once you tell a band of criminals that you're coming against them. You remember when originally we were calibrating what to do, planning how to go against them, a lot of their sponsors and patrons, like Sheikh Gumi, was warning us, if you dare commit violence, we will scatter everywhere. It's better you give up your forests all over the country, let them occupy the forests. Why? These are not Fulanis of Nigerians occupying the forests. These are displaced Fulani refugees coming in from Central African Republic, Mali, Mauritania, Burkina Faso, Niger, and all the other countries from where Buhari told them to come in, that they will house them here. The problem with that policy of come from everywhere, come to Nigeria, is they will need land. And we all know from history that Nigerians, like other Africans, are emotionally attached to land. And that was why you had Femi Adesina say, give up your land or you will die trying to keep the land. And later when we went on television to talk, he said we quoted him out of context. Don't forget this. So now that due to the intervention of the US government, Tinubu has been yoked out of his slumber and he's been forced to make certain arrangements, you can see what's going on. Even though he had several meetings with leaders, going to Sultan to tell him, call your people to order, it didn't work. These people are very audacious. They have a mindset to conquer Nigeria. And I told people on television, they can't do it because they lack the numbers. And suddenly, Buhari's administration instructed the army through General Buratai that they should look away. That is that policy of do not engage. Even if there is actionable intelligence that there will be attack, what they will tell you is whenever you're being attacked and you don't see us to come and save your community as the Nigerian army, purposed to protect Nigerian lives from foreign aggression, which is what this is. It is because of the doctrine of do not engage. So no matter what Tinubu says, that doctrine of do not engage is what is responsible for a lot of young Nigerians absconding from the army. And the army is now saying they want to start mass recruitment. And I advised some people, I said, mass recruitments will not work if you do not change that policy of do not engage. If you don't change it and get rid of the officers embedded in the army who are sympathizers of the cause of the jihadists, it's not going to work. No young man will want to join the army and then be killed because he is doing his active duty of serving his country in the security battlefield. This is our problem. What has happened to the officer who made the phone call for the soldiers in the KB school to withdraw 45 minutes before the attack? What has happened to him? Let us make an open scapegoat of him. Let us use him as an example. You don't need to deal with every offender. Collect 5 or 10 very visibly, highly placed offenders. Deal with them maximally in the ways of the law. And others below will learn and understand that there is a new sheriff in town who is not like Buhari. Buhari didn't work alone, don't forget. A lot of people who work with him are still in government and actively share the same sympathies that they shared before then. What are these sympathies? The belief that they can conquer Nigeria, appropriate Nigeria, and subjugate it. A lot is not going on. This is the reason why our elections are not free and fair. This is the reason why we've not had an honest census since the British left. This is the truth. That's why
Wow.
we don't have
So
real
this is
data.
so why should this be one of the reasons we haven't had census? Why?
Because they do not want an honest census to show you who is who. Nigeria, till this
Oh,
minute, remains a Christian majority country.
oh,
Nigeria, till this minute, remains a Christian majority country. After the Civil War, we were to come back to normality of Muslims sharing power with Christians. As Shagari was in power, people like Buhari refused. Did that, and Shagari confessed to Ekweme. When Ekweme got out of prison, went to visit Shagari. Sir, I am vice president. You are president. They did a coup. They arrested me. They didn't touch you. Shagari told Ekweme, no. They say you're not the reason for the. I'm not the reason for the coup. It is you. They do not want to share power with Christians. That they won the war, so they claimed. Then of coups led by Muslim officers. That's Buhari, followed by Babangida, followed by
network. I hope the network will just let us enjoy more of this way EBC would enjoy already. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just joining us, welcome to the show. I tell on earlier today, say Tinubu West African leaders did for emergency virtual meeting. As West African leaders, they in panic following what just happened for Guinea Bissau, the coup for Guinea Bissau. Now President Ahmed Tinubu and all that did there. The emergency meeting then via Zoom, then they get them, and it brought together African leaders in a rapid diplomatic response to the unfolding situation in Guinea-Bissau. Good evening. Hello, sir. Oh dear, it's still frozen. I think the network is really bad. Let's see if he can perhaps rejoin us. Maybe he tried to get a call or something. Yeah. So furthering that conversation, Guinea-Bissau military, which seized power yesterday, Wednesday, after arresting President Umaro Sissoco Embalo, has announced General Harto Tanaman as the head of transitional government for 1 year. And a lot of things that happened for that place. Me, what I told earlier, say the EU and ECOWAS and African Union, AU, don't wash their hand come off for what get to do with the coup. Say them they know they inside at all. But people are saying that. Does it matter if you're part of it or if you're not part of it? What's done is done. All right, sir. We have the back join us. So sorry. So, sir, I want to quickly play you a video that the Senate President Godswill Akpabio saw before the House, and then he panicked. But I'm going to play you the actual video. Then I'll play you his reaction too after seeing the video. Take a look. Listen.
Assalamu alaikum. Gashi wallahi sama da AG bulika a cikin wata mota suna cikin tafiya ba su san ya zube ba. Gashi
So Kinaji houses, sir, I'm sure you'll be able to hear what they were saying there.
Yes, Naji Hausa. You
will speak of English, sir, no vex.
Yes, I speak Hausa. I speak Hausa and will be able to hear whatever it is.
Okay, so let me quickly.
If it is audible.
Let me quickly replay it again, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Gashi wallahi sama da AG bulika a cikin wata mota suna cikin tafiya ba su san ya zube ba. Gashi
All right, so did you pick anything from what they said there?
No, because it didn't play, it didn't move, and there was no audio. So this is the problem.
Let me play Akpabio's response, then I'll send this video to you privately so that you watch it.
Please,
sir.
No problem.
Thank you, sir. Let me play Akpabio's response.
Right now, happening in Zaria. Today is 26. Yeah. A commercial trailer passing through Zaria around Ahmadu Bello University, loaded with bullets, on its way to supply to the bandits. For one reason or the other, there is along Zaria Sokoto highway. Today, now,
the bullet was dropping.
The bullets were dropping and on the road. The driver did not know and was still going, and the bullets were dropping. I hope he has been apprehended. So I use this opportunity to call on the Commissioner of Police in Kaduna State to quickly send a team to go and escort the trailer loaded with bullets. Bullets are dropping on the road. The people are crying. I think we should stop further discussion on this matter and go into the prayers, because there is a lot of work to be done. So, there's no need to, whatever you are going to say, Senator Plank, these bullets that are dropping on the ground, we need to make a resolution on this now, before the bullets find their way into the hands of the bandits. Are you going to say that the bullets should not be? Okay, just say something now, because I don't want anybody to feel that he was shot out. Let's just use 30 seconds and say what you want to say, because these issues are too serious, and security really should not be discussed in the open like this.
Yes, sir.
But because of the peculiar circumstance that we have found ourselves, look at it's here.
Yes, sir. President of the Senate.
Get the IG and send it to him, and then let him.
President of the Senate, my distinguished colleagues.
No protocol. Just
yes,
say
sir.
what. Say.
All right. That's it. Were you able to see the video, sir?
Yes, I saw what Abadi was saying, but I agree with him. It is what this is. Let me tell you. When we start getting the leaders to see what we see, don't forget, this is not present because of the mainstream media. It is social media.
Absolutely.
And this is the reason why
some of them are calling to be banned.
Yes. Who remember the #1 person in the country who wants social media ban? The Sultan of Sokoto. So it tells you, because the social media pushed greatly. That's just like me. When they were telling mainstream media to block me from coming to shows, because I was the lone voice with my Fulani monologue on this issue. They did everything. They would find the studios, and the studio owners were saying, who are you? Why don't they talk to you? They come and worry me, arrest my anchors. I was laughing. Why was I laughing? Because I knew I had other avenues to get my message out, and that was social media. So for them, they didn't understand that the social media already, to my understanding, was a far more ubiquitously dangerous medium for what we are doing. We don't need the mainstream. The mainstream are playing catch up. That's why they can play the mainstream. Of course, mainstream media are playing catch up. News is where they were fresh. But when you're not telling me, just as you're playing these videos, I have seen them before. How did I get them? Social media. Like we're discussing the issues in Bayelsa. Social media.
Social media.
That
I would
guy
have
who you see,
video, but it's too gory and it's not good.
Yes, the man announcing it, showing me the videos from Bayelsa. Let me tell you, Bayelsa is likely to becoming the national template. Remember, before we got to where we are today, the director general of the DSS has told communities to prepare themselves to defend themselves in their primary areas.
So that means that wasn't just
and before that,
he meant what he was saying.
No, this was the administration's frustrating total summary. But because Fulani leaders who were in power were putting too much pressures and too much lobbying to stop the administration from doing what it wanted to do, that's why you saw members of the administration telling people, go protect yourself. Communities, rural communities, do this to protect yourself. As I'm talking to you, all communities I know already have vigilantes. The difference is they don't have these guns, and like the army is told and the police told, do not engage. They will need to now tell everybody, engage. Not just the army. Police, engage. Civil society, engage. The people in Bayelsa didn't need anybody's authorization for them to engage.
Did you hear their threat? And they mentioned that you then dare them again. Say they go defeat.
Yes.
It's like we're battle ready for you guys. I'm not even joking. Waiting be on a number. This now
That's
not even think about that.
Somebody was asking me today on a television program, what do I think? I said, well, the president has pronounced a security emergency. For me, it's like a declaration of war. Who are the people? We know the people. The people Buhari and his people try to protect. What is their aim? Why was Sheikh Gumi telling us to forget our forest? You're telling the African to forget his forest, forget his bushes. forget his farms. So why are we going to depend on? We are primarily workers. I mean, we are farmers. If we're not going to go out to our farm, give it up to who? To who? It's not going to work. It's either this country will go up in flames or we will peacefully take back our farms. Nigerians will never give up their farms, their lands, their communities to the Fulani.
All right. So,
it will never happen.
So let me run through some attacks that have happened recently for the purpose of those who may not know, so that they will do some catch up, since that's what we're now doing. So bandits launched, or terrorists, I hate to call them bandits, launched yet another deadly assault in Niger State, abducting 24 people, including pregnant women, and mutilating a blind resident in separate attacks within the same local government area. Now, the latest incident occurred just Wednesday in Palaita community, I think Erena local government area, where armed men stormed a farmland while laborers were harvesting crops. Witnesses say the attackers rounded up the workers and whisked them away into the bush. Among those taken was a heavily pregnant woman. In a separate invasion within the same local government area, the criminals reportedly cut off the arm of a blind man after he allegedly failed to cooperate with their demands. Residents say the renewed attacks have heightened fear across surrounding communities, with calls mounting for urgent government intervention to halt the escalating insecurity in the state. Now, we'll move again to I think another state, Kogi State, where bandits launched, or terrorists launched, an attack at the Osokoko Obanja axis in Kogi State. According to sources, two commercial 18-seater buses were targeted during the incident. One of the buses was successfully attacked, while the second managed to escape. The exact number of kidnapped passengers remains unknown at this time, though eyewitnesses confirmed that all those on board that particular bus, the intercepted bus, were taken by the attackers. Cool, medium.
What this tells you,
this is another worrisome development. Let me let you learn, sir.
What this
because I was going to mention a series
yes,
of others that have happened.
This is simply their reactions to our decision to do something. We will lose some at this beginning, but I will restate now, they do not have the numbers to subjugate the whole of this country. It's not going to work. We have started it. There's a war on. I said it some months ago on a television clip that's gone viral. There is a war on. The journalists were, and that was why they were too afraid to discuss these issues.
So you think that we journalists are complicit?
Yes, you are.
Oh my goodness.
That is very true.
Well, you don't look at
whether you like it or not.
Our job.
Listen to me.
Yes, sir.
You were intimidated through during the Buhari period. Yes. You were complicit. They also used the Broadcasting Commission against you, because I remember how my own came. I will go to channels, I will come back. Later in the evening, I will do a morning show on Sunrise. Later in the evening, some people will call me to come to Abuja, and they come fly in from Abuja, and they be taken for interrogation. Why did they let me talk? I wasn't the only one. Other people, they will also come talk, reveal the truth. Later on, they just use their own hands and told the journalism, crowd that they shouldn't be reporting things about the insecurity. They even went on to change the epitaphs for the terrorists. They call them bandits. Every time I'm on TV, I will call them Fulani militiamen. These people are Fulanis. I remember a general in the army once invited me to the army, and I went there and he said, "No, why don't you just call them bandits?" I said, "No, sir. I speak on behalf of the opposition in this country.
So a general wanted you to maintain calling them bandits.
The same thing that they order journalists that they should refer to these people as bandits. These are not bandits. These are terrorists. These are Fulani terrorists. So this is just, the idea was to hide the origin of who these people are. And this crisis came when they got frustrated that Buhari wasn't able to gain land through legislation from the National Assembly. We worked well. We coordinated well. So on the particular day when Akpabio brought a filibuster, because that time he was minority leader at the Senate, and that filibuster with Saraki, president of Senate, respecting it, Saraki stepped down that particular legislation that was for a legislation to join, consolidate underground and surface water, plus embarking land. And that embarking land was 6 kilometers of embarking land from the waterfront, 3 kilometers each way. And I met private weddings with some traditional rulers in Lagos, and I warned them, I said, sir, where we're sitting right now will also come under that legislation. He said, what? Nada Gbajabia Mila is speaker, that they will not take this and give to Gambari. I said, yes, sir. This is a legislation. Some way, somehow, they got through to Baja, and before you knew it, Baja stepped down that legislation. So for me, we have been through a lot of mess. We now see them coming to use what Tinubu called Ministry of Livestock. Ministry of Livestock for who? Are you going to create Ministry of Yams to give advantage to TV yam growers? Or are you also going to create Ministry of Spare Parts to make sure Igbos who stay spare parts have their businesses helped? I don't understand. So all this were these compromising positions that the president was doing until the people in Benue were not able to sell their message to American ears. This thing didn't start today. This has been on for a very long time. It was simply the success of the consolidation of all messagings by various diverse groups of Nigeria origin in the United States that got the listening ear of the US Congress. And that's why you saw even that. You didn't hear that primate about the TV who sent the Bishop of Makurdi to go and make the complaint. No. He says it is Igbo that is the problem. How is Igbo the problem? I don't know. You know, and do you know why?
Okay, sir.
The problem was, our problem all along had been a religious problem. The Igbos were targets because the Igbos represent the largest crop of bloc Christians in Nigeria. The second largest crop of bloc Christians in northern Nigeria are the TV, the Bagiden, and of course the Domas. The TV are 86% Catholics, 98% Christians. That's what Benue State is. You don't have any mixture. Plateau is so majority Christian. Taraba, majority Christian. Southern Kaduna, majority Christian. But as the Muslims saw us transit to democracy, they just don't want any free and fair election. So when Obasanjo got in, they started Sharia to undermine Obasanjo. Obasanjo kept quiet because he knew this is an unprovoked action by them. He thought their political Sharia will die with time. No, that was why he called Abdullah Adamu, governor of Nasarawa State, and begged him, please, I am president. Don't ring me with Sharia states. Don't take Nasarawa into Sharia. Abdullah Adamu agreed. In return, Obasanjo designed for him a route that went from Nasarawa, from Abuja to Nasarawa, cancelled Suleja as a link community to Abuja, and made Kefi, Maraba, Nyanya Karu as a link community to Abuja. That was done on purpose by Obasanjo. And Abdullah Adamu started answering the epitaph.
All right, sir.
the bridge
So very
builder.
quickly, I'd like to pick your mind. The federal government during the week had said they had banned open grazing. And the next thing, they now said no, they're not ban them. Say that they want transition to ranching gradually. Now, let me take their words because I've been looking for a way to have this conversation with you. And I think it's best to have it in the open so that Nigerians can understand. So in the statement that they released after refuting the ban on open grazing that people were excited about, by the way, they said that instead, the government is implementing a gradual, structured transition from open grazing to modern ranching systems. Now, they further said that Nigeria currently has 273 gazetted grazing reserves, covering over 4.5 million hectares of land. That the federal government is collaborating with state governments to revitalize and equip these grazing reserves, making them conducive for pastoralists and other livestock operators. He said a transition plan
That's a lie.
finish open grazing overnight, but provides viable alternatives that support productivity, reduce conflicts, and promote a sustainable livestock system, the statement said. But I'd like to understand these 273 gazetted grazing reserves. Are we still talking about grazing reserves in the present day Nigeria? That's one. And then secondly, I want to understand the interest of the federal government on livestock, especially cattle rearing, considering that it is a private business. So, of what benefit is cattle business to Nigeria itself? Just like the oil, crude oil, or gold, or perhaps other mineral resources would be. Why is the federal government very particular about displeasing, for instance, farmers to ensure that they please the owners of this cattle? If the cattle is a private business, who are the owners of that cattle? Why can they not buy a ranch, a land, to create a ranch or make a ranch for their cattle? What is going on with these grazing reserves that they are now partnering with governors?
One, it is not true. It's
What is
blatant
not true,
lie.
sir?
There are no,
Oh,
it's
but
not true. There are no
public is a
gazetted.
public information, and
There,
that's why I want us to have this conversation. Okay,
listen
sir.
now. Let me, because I have done this explanation on a previous
Yes, sir.
program. There is nothing like gazetted grazing reserve. It
So
doesn't
there is no
exist.
gazetted grazing reserve.
We don't have it. It doesn't exist.
So
It's
the
not
federal
true.
government is lying about a 4.5 billion hectares reserved with
Yes.
273 gazetted. Oh, wow.
Yes. What you saw
Yes.
was a pushback. The federal government wants to ban immediately open grazing, but there was a pushback by foreign leaders. And that pushback also came with this lie. The idea of
Mm.
grazing reserve was an idea by the old Northern Nigerian administration. Now, those administration things is an idea by a state. Today we have 36 states. Then what we had were 4 states, 4 regions. And we have since said that if the ideas and the laws or decrees or bylaws of a single state clashes with the Nigerian constitution, our constitution takes precedence. And that was why it didn't work when Buhari tried to force the story of grazing reserve. We don't have it. It's
So
not true.
sir, just to mention, are you saying that in the history of Nigeria, there hasn't been anything as a gazetted reserve? Because we've been hearing this grazing reserve, especially more during Buhari's administration. Are you saying there's nothing like grazing reserve?
It doesn't
How about
exist.
grazing routes? We also had
It-
grazing routes.
yes, there were grazing routes
Okay.
cows normally pass through. Grazing routes are normally defined by watermarks, water paths.
Okay.
Everywhere you go to, if it rains, there are paths that the water follow. So the grazing routes, people also follow that, so that as you graze, you will find a lot of water in these fadamas. In the north, I see like the Kalangai Fault. The Kalangai Fault is actually a geological part. It does have fadama along that Kalangai Fault. It's a geological fault. It does have water along it. A lot of these routes they're talking about have been overtaken. People have built schools. People have built universities. Governments have built roads. These were things that were routes that cattle were passing in the 50s and in the 60s. They don't, if the government decides that, okay, people pass through here, but today we're building primary school, that is it. Fulani leaders said no, that the West African policy on free movement of goods and services allows for cattle that come from Mali and Mauritania to maintain a particular route. We said no. Our laws are supreme to any kind of perspective or perception you may have. There is nothing like that. There were previously available grazing areas in the north, but because of lack of water in these places, the cattle people won't stay there if you call it a grazing reserve. So they were going everywhere. You're not going to come and say the law of northern Nigerian government is binding on Ekiti state, binding on Oyo state, binding on Imo state. It doesn't work that way. So these things are lies. The minister is lying. They will push back against whatever the government does. Just like I've seen, when they created that livestock ministry, their idea was what they couldn't get from the National Assembly, they will use government fiat and create it. But you see, under the Land Use Act, the land belongs to the governors. They are also looking at a case which they have used National Inland Waterway Authority to go to court for, that it should own all waterways, consolidate all the waters, plus embarking land, and they can take it off the National Inland Waterways. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. So I don't understand. It's a problem, as you asked. Just to satisfy Fulanis that have come in from other countries and seek land in Nigeria. This is why you're seeing these killings. This is why you're seeing them gone to court, them gone also to the National Assembly to seek to gain land, to give land. Why? Nigerians are emotionally attached to land. Even when Buhari came in first, when he wrote his epistle for national grazing reserves, he sought to take the land by force. Then the state said, no, you can't take the land by force. And even that law, the supposition said that you cannot go to court. That before you can go to court, you have to take permission from them who run the National Grazing Reserve before you can go. How can you make such laws? The foreign leaders are thinking like the military. You're not going to do that. It's not going to work. Now that they say they must ban open grazing. No, don't do it until we be able to get this land and we'll make an announcement. It's not going to work. The Tinubu's effect of honeymoon when he came in is over. Tinubu cannot seize land from anybody now. It's not true. Under what law? You want to go? And the targets they have, Plateau, Taraba, Benue, Southern Kaduna. You see now they've expanded to Kwara. You see that? Kwara, Kebbi, all those middle lines, middle states that if they hold, the South will become vulnerable. That's what they are fighting about. Kwara, Niger, call it, Benue, Taraba. They intend to invade the South. And look at those who ran to Bayelsa. You saw the experience they got.
Oh my goodness.
And bet you
it
experience will become, these people have very dirty and sinister intentions towards their country. Let them go back to their countries. Sheikh Musa knows that the people fighting to gain land are not Nigerians. There are no Nigerian Fulanis leaving their areas and where they live to seek to go elsewhere. It doesn't exist. There are no Fulanis in Nigeria seeking to leave their current state of origin to go and live in bush elsewhere. It doesn't exist. These are the people that were brought in from other countries that brought in, that have been asking him, not just give us money, give us land. And then who will give you land? The man and the livestock ministry thinks they can take land to resettle those people. Who will agree to live with them? Because if you give them land, look at the experience with the Hausas. Hausas allow them to stay. Today, no Hausa man is emir anywhere in Hausa land. Today, Hausas are not only the most ravaged. Hausa land is home to humanity's largest concentration of children without access to formal education. This is as a consequence of the Fulanis being accepted into Hausa land in 1804. Don't forget, the Fulanis are not historically indigenous to Nigeria. They came after the Portuguese and then the British.
So that means they're not even supposed to have any land originally from Nigeria. That means the land where they did for Nigeria.
That is the reason for this. That is the reason for this crisis.
Hey.
That is the reason for this crisis.
As their number they increase.
To collect people's land. And they are looking for land with water. Hey. This is why we have this crisis. Everywhere you have Nigerians, they are settled peacefully. The reason is Fulanis who have been asked to come in by Buhari are seeking for places to stay. And because they don't have land, they now form militias that carry out waves of ethnic cleansings to get land from indigenous people. They will take over the land. As the Plateau governor said, 64 communities overridden, some of them, their names changed, whereas the indigenous owners are in IDP camps, Fulanis from foreign lands are living there. But owners of the land are in IDP camps. That's why you're hearing now Sheikh Musa saying they are Nigerians. They are not Nigerians. There are no Nigerians displaced anywhere. No Nigerian Fulanis are asking to be moved from their homes to states in order. It doesn't exist. These people are liars. So Sheikh Musa is just trying to be a liar by half. He can't. We are here.
All right.
This is the problem Tinubu has.
Talking about this Christian genocide and the continuous denial by the federal government about Christian genocide is very painful. But we saw recently a reverend father, a vicar of the Kaduna Diocese of the Anglican Communion, Venerable, I think Edwin Achi, who was kidnapped alongside his wife. The kidnappers released a video of him being kidnapped. Of him and his wife. I think I don't know if their daughter was among them in custody. That's the video, the picture that the Fulanis the bandits released, and then these people made the family pay ransom in order to release them, and the family paid ransom only for them to tell them go and take his dead body. He's decomposing body somewhere, so he's dead. Now people are saying, with this kind of thing, what other example do we need to international community that he was killed because he's a Christian? That's him and his wife from the picture that was released by the bandits. Him and his wife in custody of the terrorists. And he has been killed. And then we still have, and one thing that scares me is almost all politicians in Nigeria, ADC, PDP, APC, they are almost in unison saying that there is no Christian genocide. I don't know if you've noticed it, sir.
None of them wants problem with the federal government. The federal government under President Tinubu has told everybody to deny it. So
opposition too will deny?
No. Opposition are not denying
it. Opposition is that
the opposition.
The ADC is denying it. They don't believe in it.
No, listen. What is the ADC? Who's the ADC? ADC is another Fulani platform, front, led by Atiku. What do you think? What do you expect? They broke away from the APC with Atiku. The idea of ADC is Christians should not be president. That's the idea. That is Atiku's politics. He is being. That's just the game.
But
That
the
is the
Christian can
idea.
only
The
deputize him.
ADC.
The Christian can deputize him, but not be president.
The ADC is a Muslim front, nothing else.
This is a dangerous thing.
Nothing
So are you sure
else.
about this? Because they may deny it.
Listen, they can't deny it in my front, and I will prove to you the reasons
I think
why.
about that. Even
The
Errol Finer has
ADC
picked up his tickets for his ADC membership tickets card.
Listen to me now. It doesn't matter. That's because there are works in the background by generals that they want to now make sure Atiku listens to them, gives way, and allow the ADC to become a party that also includes Christians and where Christians can stay and run for president. This thing didn't start today. It's an old issue to make sure the Christians are intimidated. Atiku was there. Atiku formed the MPDP, used that to go build a coalition that brought about the Buhari presidency. After Buhari's 8 years, Atiku said no, he will not allow any Christian to be. He said he will run. Even after Tinubu got in, Atiku still says no. Remember at the time he said it was Wike that is his problem. Wike refused. Wike is not an ADC. Why is Atiku not stepping down? Because you're seeing the real truth. The Muslims have a way. Okay, another issue. Remember, after Awolowo didn't work with them, what did they do? They started organizing to promote Yoruba Muslims. Shekola, Abiola, now Tinubu. The Yoruba Christians are to be vanquished. That's why if you check, those who supported Peter Obi from Yoruba land were the Christians. Obasanjo, Chifa, just all of them. No Yoruba Muslims supported. And who are the people in the ADC? Arishekola. And you know his history in Islamization in Yoruba land. And then who is the chairman? They are Man Friday, David Mark. You know what Mark is. It was Mark who said if INEC declares Abiola, that he will shoot Abiola in the head. So this is who has been for the interest of the North. It has not changed. So please just leave that alone. The ADC is an Islamic front. That's what it is. That's why it's not catching anything. So leave them alone, please. Leave them alone.
All
The
right,
country it has a serious religious problem. The Muslims do not want the balance that allows a Christian to become president if the votings were free and fair. And the Muslims who were in charge of INEC, the presidency, the army, the DSS, and the police had allowed the 2023 election to be declared as it was voted, a Christian will have emerged. And don't forget, there was voter suppression against Christians in Lagos State. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. So this was under President Buhari. Under him supervising, Christians weren't allowed to vote in Lagos State. And when they said, no, it's just the Igbo Christians. No, it's not true. Once you looked at and you look like a Christian, you're stopped. So we have a serious religious problem in Nigeria. And the earlier we see it, the better. You're talking about a Christian minister who was arrested and who still was killed. The life ambition of every jihadist is that he must kill the non-believers in Islam. You see? And then they will tell you Islam is religion of peace. Nigeria is a secular state. How come the Muslims don't listen to the laws? They'll just create what they want any day. A Christian girl was stoned to death. It has not stopped. Ask yourself, has Christians ever started any militias that will go into Muslim areas anywhere in Nigeria to kill Muslims in Nigeria ever?
There
No.
are recent pictures trending of some, I think, two young men whom they said they arrested that are from, I think, Idoma in Benue State, that are bandits, but they are
No,
not
let
terrorizing
me tell you how
Muslims.
it
They
works.
are rather
I know what
terrorizing
you're
their fellow Christians, and the
I know
Nigerian
what
police
you're
keep claiming
I know what
violence.
you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you how it works. When the Fulanese come in to either Hausa communities or any communities, they also try to recruit some willing criminals in that community. It's always there. Look at the political jihad. They were able to recruit people like Dave Umai in the East. Yeah. Even there are Igbos who would deny being Igbo as a way to gain acceptance. People like Weekend. People are dehumanized. Today, Buratai's family are still Christian ministers, Christian elders, but because he got well, he told if you won't go up. Same thing with Aline Dume's family live in as Christians still in Abuja. This is how this country has been for some time. If you don't want to convert to Islam, they will make sure they undermine your progress. It's terrible in Nigeria being a Christian. And for a long time, what has caused this problem is lack of unity amongst indigenous people who are primarily owners of the land. And that tells you when brothers fight to death, outsiders will come and inherit their land. So when we, the indigenous people, have not found it to work together, it is now foreigners that are coming in to claim our land. The leaders of these terrorism militias are mostly not Nigerians. Bello Turji is not a Nigerian, it's from Niger. Abdullahi Bello Bodejo, whose name entered the US Congress list, who leads Mieti Allah Kotohore, is from Niger. He came and settled in Bauchi State, but came to Nasarawa State to organize the militia, the Kotohore militia, Mieti Allah, which he uses to attack the Benue Basin. Why does he attack the Benue Basin all through the days of Governor Samuel Otom? Because Benue has water. Benue has grass. That's all. So it's been going on for a very long time. Thanks to President Trump. He has given voice to the suffering of Christians in Nigeria. And just in a fortnight, you can see the changes. And even as Tinubu is making his announcements, there are leaders. Who's going to give him land?
You're right.
Who will give
All
him
right,
land?
let's quickly
He's quoting.
let's quickly touch on pockets of other conversations around terrorism in Nigeria recently after this attack. So we also did hear that no fewer than 7 people were abducted from Gidom Bijimi, a village in the Kawu ward of Buari area council. That's in Abuja. And this happened yesterday night, just hours after the president declared a nationwide security emergency. The gunmen stormed the village around 10 p.m., shooting indiscriminately before whisking away the victims. Residents said that the attackers struck from the border area between Abuja and Kaduna, leaving panic and fear in the wake of the day. And that's not all. We also did hear that police so far have confirmed that 10 farmers in Shiroro local government area of Niger State were abducted following a wave of violent attacks on local communities on recent school kidnapping. So the Niger State Police Command confirmed that the incident today too, that they abducted some people from Niger State again. Meanwhile, Amnesty International is confirming that 400 people have been killed in Imo State, your state, sir, in 3 years due to gunmen attacks and reprisals. Would you like to speak to that, sir? In 3 years,
Yes, the
400.
abductions.
That's a lot.
Good.
for one state.
I'm happy you're bringing this up. Amnesty International has followed the trend for a very long time. And this is our problem. We have had these issues for a long, long time.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't want us to have this challenge, this trouble at all. I think the network is bad again. Mm. All right, I think the network is bad again. We'll try to rejoin Dr. Ononuji, but let me quickly run through that story from Amnesty International. So, the Global Human Rights Board statement also detailed how civil restrictions imposed in the region worsened the situation. So we hear that overpressing. And also, are you back with us? Okay, yeah.
Yes,
So,
yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
let's go ahead, sir. Yes. So they also mentioned that the civil restriction also worsened the situation in Imo State.
Yes, the Imo State problem is as a consequence of Buhari's attempt to seek revenge. You know, Imo was very peaceful until Buhari started his Python dance. After Python dance, he now started what he called the unknown government sting operation. Of course, you've seen how the government does it. The minute Buhari government ended, the unknown government sting operation ended. Ask yourself why. No single arrest from those issues.
But why do we still have the Southeast highly militarized? What are they doing there? The military.
Well, it's a strategy by the federal government. You cannot drive anywhere in the Southeast for 3 minutes without having a checkpoint.
That was Buhari's instruction. Why is
it
Tinubu
is still there.
Why?
It is there to
why is
well,
Tinubu doing
it's
everything? And
it
these
is
people
a
are
system.
extorting the people of the region, according to
Yes,
stating.
it is a strategy of keeping the people occupied. You are under occupation, even though it is not said so. This is the whole Southeast. The Christians have to be intimidated. Don't forget, the Southeast has the largest block of Christians than anywhere in West Africa. So when you now intimidate that Christian population, you block them for who they are, they can talk. Other people in the north kept quiet. It is not happening to TV. It is not happening to Christians also in Kaduna, Southern Kaduna. See, when you see evil occur and you say, no, the trade unions, they won't arrest me, then they will come for the priest. You say, no, I'm not a priest, they won't arrest me. Tomorrow now, they will come for the shop owner. And you say, I'm not a shop owner. The day they will come for you, there'll be nobody there. There'll be nobody there. Okay? This is how. So it started with the first batch of Christians they knew after the Civil War being the Igbo. Nigerians thought it was actually a tribal subjugation against the Igbo. No. Can't you see that even today, the South are also part of the areas to be messed with? Yes. So, and then after the South, they now have come down to the Middle Belt. All the areas these things are happening are where Christians are well stocked. And then before they do this thing, you hear Allah Akbar. Who says Allah Akbar for
But the
action?
Muslims are denying that. Is it everybody that says in the name of Jesus that is a Christian? That some people just use it. That is not everybody that says Allah Akbar that it's a Muslim.
Yeah,
that these
but
people
it has been going on for long. It has been going on for a long time. You have to allow those who wear the shoes to talk about how the shoe pains them. Why did the Benue people consolidate their arguments with that of the Southeast people? Because they found that every time they come to Abuja to complain, they are told to shut up. This thing you're talking to me about denial. Are you aware that George Akume, even the pastor who say he is Benue State governor, also denied? So
yes.
It is a pressure. Yes. It is a pressure from the federal government that people should all deny it. If you don't deny it, we'll deal with you. Why? They're trying to turn the country into a one-party state. And that's why you see the country is not going well. The democracy is dying. It's not a proper. You know, I've been trying to read a lot more materials to understand how Turkey was also seized and finally converted from a Christian society into a Muslim society. I am very, very happy for the United States' final intervention in our sufferings. How it will get us, I don't know. That there's an escalation in the Fulani action, it doesn't change anything. We've been here before with President Goodluck Jonathan, a Christian, a Southerner. And of course, you know, you didn't see when a Northerner is in power, a Muslim, no. Remember what they told us? Muslims are not supposed to oppose Muslim leaders when they are in power. So, what about Tinubu? So what Tinubu probably will learn is what Awolowo saw and said, I can't trust those people. That's how it is.
So he's not Muslim enough.
You know? Yes. And don't forget, I would do very well when he now trusted a Yoruba Muslim, the guy now betrayed him. And he said that in his book. So I think we should learn. And that's why you saw when the Fulanis came after the Civil War, they didn't deal with any Christian leader anymore from Yoruba land. They were only dealing with the Yoruba Muslims. Shokola, Abiola, and even look at those who Tinubu. And even during the voting in Lagos, no, the Muslims don't want you to vote, the Christians to vote what they want. What did they? Voter suppression. Voter suppression. And Buhari was watching and he kept quiet, yet he was the president who was supposed to secure the lives and property of all Nigerians. That's why you saw the annulled the election and wrote the results by hands. Why?
So the good thing is that most of these things not only get attention of the Nigerian Senate and National Assembly generally. I feel like we could just go play a few short clips of some arguments and conversations that happened before the National Assembly. Then make a lecture react to all of them one at a time. Thank you, sir.
How can an offense that carry death penalty, a judge reduce it to 20 years in prison? That is not acceptable. He has violated the laws passed by the parliament. Number three, sir, and this will be the last.
Has that happened in Nigeria already?
It has. Somebody convicted
of terrorism. Just to remind you, so that is the Senate president asking Adams Oshomole if that has happened. That is the case of Hussein, the terrorist who was given 20 years imprisonment. So apparently the Senate president didn't even know there is a case like that. And he's a lawmaker. So when Adams Oshomole raised them, he said, has that happened already? You don't even know. Say it don't happen. So let's quickly take a listen.
How can an offense that carry death penalty, a judge reduce it to 20 years in prison? That is not acceptable. He has violated the laws passed by the parliament. Number three, sir, and this will be the last.
Has that happened in Nigeria already?
It has. Somebody convicted of terrorism was sentenced to 20 years in prison. When the law says act of terrorism, if convicted, shall attract death penalty, no judge has a right to pronounce less than that. It's only when you have implemented the law, interpret the law, not the sentiment of a judge, the will of the people as conveyed in a law, then the president can decide if there are reasons for him to do so, whether to commute or to reduce. Death penalty or terrorism. This parliament is on record as having done that. Mr. President, I am troubled when, after all the efforts that security agencies and the prosecuting authorities have to invest to secure conviction, because unfortunately the state cannot behave like a mob. So you have to prosecute, follow due process. I am troubled by the conflicting judgment by various high court judges. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing his best.
Correct.
He's doing his best. That we have not yet there doesn't mean that he has done anything knowingly, whether by negligence or lack of interest. under your leadership, Mr. President, you have encouraged us to approve not once, not twice, special supplementary budget to support our armed forces, arising from the request of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Those requests were not meant for the armed forces to buy ice cream. It wasn't meant for them to do tobola in military nightclubs. They are meant to strengthen the armed forces, to re-equip them, to give them access to acquire modern technology, and to train, and even now, directive to recruit more men and women into the armed forces. Therefore, there can be no question that President Tinubu is doing his best. In moments like this, the devil can come in and make us so confused that we might turn against ourselves and then, by default, allow the enemy to behave as if he's happy at an upper hand. However, what I think we should do, which under your leadership, even in your statement, you have already encouraged us to come up with such suggestion, is in the light of what we now know, what can we begin to do differently and contribute those ideas to support the executive initiative? What there, for example, is, and you amplified it, even in greater details than any one of us in this house, when you revisited the statement by the governor of Kebbi State. Nigerians are entitled to know, and it is no longer national secret. The commander of that area who ordered that those men be withdrawn, it is to be a national secret to be kept within military cycle. Nigeria should know the name, and the person should be brought to justice under the Terrorist Act. Number two, Mr. President.
Is it the view of the Senate that the issue is just canvassed now, that should form part of our prayers? Yes. Those who support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. That is taken.
Senator Baribe also touched on that briefly. Please, this is one of the most trying periods that our country is facing. Even in battle times, in war times, it's not easy to lose a brigadier general. It's not easy to lose a brigadier general. Even in battle times, it's not easy to see this mass of communities being displaced, harassed, taken hostage, and people killed in several parts of our country. Our democracy, right before our eyes, is being rubbished. Our country, right before our eyes, is losing prestige and respect, and is endangered by the day. So this is a very serious motion. And I want to briefly object to the way and manner some of the comments from the other side have been on this very serious issue. This is the Senate of the Federal Republic.
Sorry,
no,
please.
I'm coming. Let me make my views, please.
You learn, but which other side? There is only
No.
There's only one side.
The mover of the motion.
No.
I'm coming. Before I say, please. The mover of the motion talked about.
This one, Senator Dixon.
When Senator Dixon's microphone was turned off, so that's why we're seeing what we're seeing now. They turned off his mic. You can hear that. They turned off his mic.
Mr. President,
you are protected. You are not protected. Why are you demanding the whole Senate? To discuss this issue of national security. When measures they serious issues are telling you and not as this Senate is an expression of the President that we will come here and comment on a situation like this. Please, I respectfully withdraw that statement. No, you have to withdraw that statement. You have to withdraw that statement. No. We are talking about commendation. No. All the prayers are.
The reality is that can I guide you? Can I guide you? If you want to conclude your speech, be guided from the chair. The reality is that this affects all of us. So there's nothing like this side or that side. Immediately no. Well, the person watching you outside will think that the Senate is in two divisions. On the issue of insecurity that we are discussing, we are one side. The entire Senate is one. So there's nobody here that will come and say that this side is treating the issue with levity, this side. And if you say we should not commend the president, it simply means you should tell the president to sleep. When a man has cancelled his international trips and step back to face the issue, what you are seeing is an attack on Nigeria by our enemies. And it's even as I'm speaking with you now, I understand that yesterday, in the same community or so, that they went there and then abducted a pregnant woman with the 11 others yesterday night. You don't know when it will come to your village. So there's nothing like this side and that side. We are all Nigerians and we are all concerned with what is going on. So I would prefer that we concentrate on solutions. And what we are saying is that we must rise to the occasion. This country cannot bow to despair. Neither can we bow to fear. People are perpetrating this. They are human beings. Senator Garba, maybe you may wish to highlight what you saw on the video you showed me today. Please stand up and do that. I have spoken on behalf of the Senate. And by implication,
we don't have satellite images and capacity.
To your knowledge, we have.
Sir, I
was a governor up to Taraba, up to Jalingo.
Mr. President.
So it's just the wheel.
Mr. President.
I picked them up in any part of the country. God. So please don't go there. How did they even?
I'm giving you information, Mr. President. Please.
But I'm saying
we have 4 satellites. Nigeria has 4 satellites. And we don't have satellite coverage or surveillance 24 hours. We don't have it.
The Civil Senator, can I thank you for your contributions? And plead that some of these details should be discussed in closed session. Point of order, Leader of the Senate.
With all due respect, generals don't complain. You don't expect a general to come and tell the Senate here.
No, we will compel them to discuss freely with us. Please.
They have their CNC.
That should be in a closed session. Let's not
okay.
Let's not barb their hair Mr. President. Behind their back.
Don't touch terrorists. Don't touch them. They are our children. Don't touch them. In fact, one of them went as far as saying, budget for them. In what country? What the hell is this? Budget for them, as recently happened. So we can't allow this sort of behavior to continue in this country. Government must live up to its responsibility. Go after terrorists, go after kidnappers, go after any kind of violent criminals. What we have in my area, South, it's peculiar to us. We don't have anything near what we are witnessing in North Central, North East, and the rest of them. And Northwest. No. We have.
Okay, your time is up.
All right. Thank you, honorable colleagues. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just 1 minute so they can round up.
All right. Well, so in the South, we don't have anything near what we are seeing in Northwest, Northeast,
all right, so
North Central. But we have
now that argument we hear the Senate president they get with Seraki Dixon. Now because of say they raise emotions and then commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu saying they do well. So Seraki Dixon said that it is not the right time when the nation is bleeding to commend the president. That right now, the way the situation of the country is, I feel like say the country is at its lowest. Allow him to lead us through this low moment before you commend him. Why are you moving emotion now to commend the president at a time like this, that it's like you're urinating on the blood or the graves of the people who are dying, who are still dying. So now waiting caused that argument, because what they did, they turned off his mic, they refused him from talking. So he also released a press statement narrating all of this. And then you heard the argument with Ndume and the Senate president, that he told him that we don't have satellites. And the Senate president may not talk that kind of thing aside. Say we get satellites. So that kind of thing is also can for closed door session. Our representatives, our senators or National Assembly, are they trying to, what are they doing? Are they masking? Is there like a connivance to mask the truth about what's happening in Nigeria from Nigerians?
Yes, there is a connivance to mask it. There is a connivance to make sure nobody knows what's going on in Nigeria. Yes, there is a connivance to mask it. You know, before you were asking me why will Atiku say so. Atiku is from northern Nigeria. Atiku and the ADC are a party of the North. So the Northerners are the people most afraid of Americans coming to Nigeria. So far, the people who want Americans to come.
Why?
Because it is the Northerners from where the Fulani are committing these atrocities, killing all over the country. Even if you want to deny it, it's still going on. That's why you don't want to see someone like Atiku Abubakar or his ADC vehicle agree that there is genocide.
But I don't know if you heard what Ononoga also said recently, when he said that Peter Obi is a traitor and that they will never forgive Peter Obi for accepting that US should come. The only thing Peter Obi said, that if he were the president and he has this kind of crisis and he knows that it beats him to handle, that he will tell US, come, not gonna come help me handle, and my people need to die again. But for Bayo Ononoga to say that Peter Obi is a traitor for saying that he wants a foreign nation to invade his nation. Trump never said he was going to invade Nigeria. He said he's coming to kill the terrorists that we have been unable to kill. So why would Bayo Ononoga make such statement? By the way, Bayo is also not a northerner. So why? I just thought to put that out.
Because Bayo Ononoga works for the administration. And the fear of the administration is if the Americans come here, that there may be regime change. The fear they also have is for the international community not to see that they have failed in their duty to protect lives and property. Could they have done? Now, there are those who don't mind Nigeria being Islamized, as far as the Igbos are amongst those that are Islamized. That's why you see Yoruba clergymen say, no, there's no killing. There's not. But the real people being killed say there are killings. So when you see, as I was saying before, from politicians from the north and parties say, no, there's no killing. What do you think? But unknown to them, the Americans have access to the intelligence and the data. We know what's going on in the country. Why do you want to hide it? Why should I say no, there is nobody with a gun when I know he's there with a gun squatting? The minute the person who's trying to come help me from outside goes away, he'll just point at me and kill me. So it's better I tell them, yes, he's there. Even if he shoots me, they'll come and get him. Or if he holds on, they will come and take him away, and I will not die. This is our problem. The Americans say that they will want to come and take care of the terrorists. You said no, you don't have a problem. But the terrorists are busy now messing the whole country up. Are you still going to deny it? Everybody's seeing it. You want to deny it? It's happening. Look at it. They are now showing them the social media clips, which we are used to, which is actually what we built our cases on. They want to see social media. They want to see mainstream media that will only publish what they tell them to publish. So that's why you saw the Sultan saying that the social media is terror, that the real terrorism in the country is social media, because social media is publishing the truth of what they are doing. They love controlled environments where only what they say and what they approve can be aired and also be broadcast.
And this thing you just said now, I heard from the graveyard or something, grapevine, that the reason we make a lot of northerners, including non-Fulani northerners, they come out, there is more like a threat on anyone around the north not to speak about what's happening. And it's very serious.
Yes.
Across the north, Borno, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kaduna, it is like, you know, they're not born you and me, you talk, except you won't disappear. So you think that that's accusation?
Yeah, but you see, you don't need to be afraid of the bully. If you keep quiet, the bully will still deal with you. So you better tell parents. You better tell the international community you're being killed. So that even if one or two persons gets killed after you talk, the other people who will also get killed will be saved. We have to speak out. The killing is too much. What do you want to hide? It's there all over the social media.
Yes, there's something very troubling. Somebody did speak yesterday and said that one of the reasons why, you know, we not use the wrath of the law come on top of these bandits now because they never prescribe them as terrorists. I don't know if you're still there, sir. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I can hear you.
Yes. That did not prescribe them as terrorists
because
that are still bandits. I'm coming, sir. Yes. I'm just coming. Now, these are the same people who kidnapped a Christian cleric now and his wife and daughter and have killed the man. The wife and the daughter is still in their custody. We don't even know if they'll come out alive. Even after paying ransom, they killed the man. How do you say that is not an act of terrorism? And why is it difficult for what do they call it? Social media, whatever it is, our legislatures to ensure that they go through the normal legislative process to prescribe these people? I'll play you a video right away, sir. This is a couple in Edo State, held and kidnapped by the same people we call bandits but are terrorists. Now tell me, it's blurred because of YouTube policy, so I can't really play the full length of the video. But I want you to understand this. How is it that people who are committing such crimes, we have left them? But it's quite easy to prescribe IPOB. Take a listen.
Good morning, sir. This is where my brother and his wife were kidnapped last night. The both of them, around the hours of 7 to 8. He was coming back from town yesterday in his house when they kidnapped him and his wife. According to somebody that was at home, he said he saw Fulani-esque men taking them inside the bush. So this is the bush that he saw them. So, sir, this is the environment. This is the bush where he was taken into. They took him and his wife last night. So this is the place. This is the place where we saw footprints. This is the place where we saw their footprints. Our younger brother that was at home yesterday, he saw them. So he was the one that called us. Before we got to the environment, they were already gone.
All right, sir. So how do you explain people who commit such a crime, that the fact that they're still not prescribed? How is it possible that Allah have taken responsibility for some actions? Remember, during Otom's administration, some attacks, and they're still not prescribed. But the United States is prescribing them and calling them terrorists, but we cannot call them terrorists. I don't understand what's going on.
Because it is because the Nigerian state is complicit in the actions.
So Nigeria is joining them to kill their own people, its own people.
Yes. The intention is just to wipe out as many Christians as possible and Islamize the country. Simple.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. If you can, see, it pains a lot of people that till tomorrow morning, Nigeria remains a Christian majority country. So that's why you see them trying to use conquest to appropriate Nigeria to their own pockets. And they don't want us to talk. But what you now have is interested in what's going on. everybody in
what we now have is what? Please, we lost you for a few seconds. Please help us go back.
What we have is the crisis. The Nigerian crisis has gotten up to a crescendo, and we can no more hide it. The whole world now sees it. This has been going on for a very long time. First, it started with the Igbo. Then it now joined the TV. It joined the Bachama. It joined the Birom. Christian majority places. As I said earlier, first it started with the Igbo after the Civil War. Then the Bachama. Then it now came to the TV. These are all Christian majority communities. That's what's going on. And it is a war that has been on for a very long time. You saw it now. The Igbos will vote, they will say no, they will make appointment, they don't even want to appoint the Igbos. All those things is because the Igbos are the largest stock of Christians in Nigeria. They've now gone to the TV. The thieves are the largest stock of Christians, 98% Christians.
Oh dear, network. I wish they
we have problem. Nigeria is troubled. I'm even talking, and I can't talk well because of someone is trying to jam my line. This is crazy, this country.
I say that because your network is already frozen. Okay, so another, I don't know if you can hear me, sir. Another conversation around this. There was an evangelist that made a video about an attack on Nasarawa crusade, on a crusade in Nasarawa state. Now, instead of them, the security agencies to look through waiting they cost that thing, or at least the people that the reason waiting making even put it in put up, rather they arrested him. So these are the issues the Nigerians are talking about. I think I don't have Dr. Kaj here again. All right. Thank you so much. I think maybe Ingo try reconnect with us. Maybe the call coming. Yeah, I saw your message, Mr. Wale. No. Mr. Wala, I did not play that video. That's why I blurred it. So the parts that expressed violence, we showed whatever it was they were carrying and all that, that made it, there's very graphics is blood. So if you had not seen the video before on social media, you would not know. So that's why I can't play it in the real context the way it is. Please, that's why I can't play it. Okay, so let's see if Dr. Kaj can rejoin us. These are very scary times and very, very, very scary things are happening. Dr. Kaj, are you there now? Hello, Dr. Kaj. Hello, Dr. Kaj. Okay, I think his network is still acting up. Dr. Kaj, I don't know if you can hear us now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I am here.
Awesome. I said another
yes, I can hear
evangelist. An evangelist in Nasarawa State was arrested. Why? Because he showed live for TV. She do video recording of wedding day crusade where bandits come there. Okay, sir. So bandits that attack the crusade ground, he can't show the video. Instead of the security agencies to go and look for the bandits whom he was talking about that attacked the crusade ground, they rather arrested him. I don't know if he's still in custody now. The last time we checked, he was still with them. Is this the way that's agencies will fight insecurity? Now the one will use insecurity.
Nigeria is not fighting insecurity. No, you have state complicit actions in this current crisis. And even as it has become international problem, you've seen the state now trying to deny it, trying to cope. It's a problem. Nigeria is doomed. Our problem is more than we can explain. It's a...
Oh dear, this network issue, it's just all right. This network issue, I think it's time for me to open the phone line so that I have Nigerians jumping on this conversation. Sincere apologies, Dr. Kaj. I can imagine how frustrating it is to face this issue. I feel very embarrassed each time we have this kind of network issues during very important conversations like this. It's really heartbreaking. I wish I have a magic wand to just, perform some miracles and ensure that this doesn't happen. It could be really very discouraging to have to go through this all the time. Sincere apologies, sir. Please do bear with us. I do hope your network can be reactivated very, very soon. All right, so very quickly, we'll run through some other conversations and then I'll open the phone line very quickly so that those who want to join the conversation can join in on the conversation very quickly. We already do know that the president has given the go-ahead for recruitment of more security operatives, especially police, basically 50,000 more. I would hope say that 50,000 go make the difference we BC is supposed to make. And then some political issues here and there we BC they go on. We BC if we talk about over 11,000 police escorts also so far have been withdrawn from VIPs. So right now VIPs are not, it's not the best time for VIPs because they're not happy at all. As a matter of fact, okay, better go talk, say governors, when they stop to call her, they call and they pressurize her. Say president give him order and he obey the order we president give him. So please, governor, stop pressurizing Oga Igbetekun. Please stop pressurizing him. Allow him to do the job for which he was asked to do. All right. So phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations we've had tonight. 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call. I think we'll have Dr. Catch back. Dr. Catch, thank you so much. Sincere apologies for that, Wahala. Let's have you. You were saying something before the network interrupted, sir.
Yes, the network likes to break my line of thoughts.
So
but
sorry.
I'm just, whatever it is, we are lucky. We should be grateful. The international community has finally shown interest in our sufferings. I think it's only a matter of time. You're going to see more interest. People will come in to try to actually interrogate what they are hearing.
So let me look at within the international community they talk now, maybe the US. Now, the US make and clear, say they give Nigeria 2 conditions where go stop Trump from coming guns a blazing, right? One of the conditions they said Sunday Jackson, the young man from Adamawa State, who was sentenced to death by hanging for defending himself against the Fulani militia who would have killed him in his farm. And to Supreme Court, they okay that death by hanging. Say make the release him. That's one. 2, that the federal government or the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's led administration should show them a roadmap, a plan on how they want to disarm the Fulani militias, and make sure they do it. But they must show them the process, transparent enough how they're going to do it. Do you see the president meeting this request? Considering right now the president don't appoint a 10-man committee to negotiate with US, and people have also been saying that there's been very tough lobbying going on in the US. As I speak to you, there was a video I played yesterday of some people who are not Nigerians protesting that there is no Christian genocide in the US, that they are Nigerians, that there is no Christian genocide in the US. So people are saying that there is serious lobbying going on in the US. Even, I mean, if you listen during the congressional hearing, you notice that most of the Democrats were speaking strongly against the invasion and the fact that we should be careful about making the genocide a Christian in a religious thing and all that. So with all this lobbying and all that going on, and then the committee where President Tinubu don't set up now to negotiate with the United States and the condition where the United States don't give in. Tell us, sir, how you go fit you survive, sir?
I saw the propaganda people hired in New York. Most of them are not Nigerians. Most of them don't even know why they are asked to carry those placards.
They don't have an idea.
They don't have an idea why they are asked. So when they ask, if you've been to Nigeria before, say no. How did you get into this? They say they came from the Bronx. Somebody came there to give them these T-shirts, give them money, and that's why they came to the streets to stay there to tell a lie. That is Nigeria's way. They've done this before. They wouldn't stop. What I'm trying to say is, thank God there is now an international focus on Nigeria. Of course, this is going to be very difficult. The more Tinubu tries to stop the Fulani war machine, the more they will come up against him. But it's also a good thing if he's able to show honesty in doing this, to stop all subjugations against Christians, including stopping Christian voter suppression, stopping voter suppression in Lagos against Christians. Stop destroying property of Christians, because you remember when Yola defeated Tufa in Kano, there wasn't this kind of anti-social reactions and behavior. So why should it be that Peter Obi, a Christian, defeated Tinubu, a Muslim, in Lagos, and suddenly everywhere is going to fall to the ground? This is, our problems have been that religious. When you see a Muslim defeat a Muslim, there's no problem. A Christian defeats a Muslim in a place like Lagos, of course, you saw what happened. So that's wrong. Christians, like Muslims, everywhere they are, should be allowed to vote. And that, I mean, all Nigerians should be allowed to vote. Don't come and be saying, don't vote. You cannot come here and choose leaders for, what do you mean? Yet you vote in Abuja. Yet you vote everywhere where you live in the Nigerian country. Then when you don't want people to vote, you say you can't choose leaders. What do you mean you can't choose leaders for us? Who wants to choose leaders? Somebody pays tax in Lagos, lives in Lagos. He has every right to vote in Lagos. That's what it is. Why do you collect his tax money and then you don't want him to vote? Why? Because he's a Christian. And you didn't start this new one for a long time.
So, sir, you see the crux of this whole problem for Lagos State now, since Peter Obi went Tinubu, and because Peter Obi a Christian and Tinubu a Muslim.
Of course, yes. There is when
people need to look at like that now, sir.
Well, that is why you must to think deeper. Think deeper.
No, but for the Southwest, now one place where you say we don't see both religions live very peacefully. We've not had that issue around the Southwest of Christians or Muslims having issues. So
until Buhari became president.
But Buhari is not Tinubu.
We've never had that issue before.
Okay.
We have never had that problem before until Buhari became president. Don't forget, it was Buhari who started all this jihad. And under Buhari's presidency, the Muslims wanted some particular candidate to win in Lagos. But the minute Peter Obi, a Christian, defeated Tinubu, a Muslim in Lagos, all hell was let loose. Now, you see the narrative? So don't what government sells you. Me and you now talking about the terrorists for who they are. Allow government to talk. They tell you that these are bandits involved in business. Is that not what Erufai said? Allow me, who suffers the pain, to describe to you how I feel on my feet. That's what we're doing. And when I not describe what I'm feeling, you say I should shut up. No, you've not talked to the TV who went to complain in Washington. You are blaming it on the Igbo. How? Okay, the major Christian signposts them and other Christians will now go
So you
back.
think that that's why Igbos are being blamed for the US?
That is why Igbos are being blamed. The Igbos are the largest bloc of Christians in Nigeria.
Hey.
That's the truth. That is what. So I want you to understand that since Buhari came to power, it's been jihad. No matter what you do, why would a Christian win Lagos, win everywhere, win this? No, they won't. What about Nasarawa State? The election was won by David Umbudagu, a Christian. They cancelled it. They will not allow it. We've had this for a very long time. We have had this for a very long time. Allow Nigerians to have free and fair elections, also have free and honest census, and you'll see these problems will go away. Why are the Fulani fighting everyone? As far as I'm concerned, Tinubu is not going to be able to meet up with the demands by the United States. And it's good that they have given those demands. Let them go and implement, let us see. Don't forget, they are engaged, and we're going to go through to our election period. The US is here with us, and whatever committee you form, the US will be part of it. What this is telling you now, the US will bring people into Nigeria who will be watching to see how Christians are discriminated against. You're not going to deal with a Christian and they say, no, it's a TV. We did it because it's a TV, we did it because it's a Doma, we did it because it's a Jabba, we did it because it's a Birop. He's a Christian. Learn to live at peace, you the Muslim, at peace with the Christian in Nigeria. That's what we want. Live and let live. Citizens. no matter their denomination, no matter their tribes, no matter the things that they prefer, no matter how they pray to their God. Why? You are attacking us because of the way we pray. That's all. That's all. And we're telling you this is our thinking of why you attack us because of the way we pray. You're not telling us that you also attack houses. You're attacking houses on their land. You want the Fadama, you want the lowland where they stay. Why? You are seeking for wiping people away so that you can situate new arrivals from foreign lands. But the country's laws are not like that. There is nothing in the law that allows you to kill a Nigerian, dispossess him of his land for the sake of resettling a foreigner. This is wrong, and we must learn to condemn it at all times. Why do we have this success? The people in the East, the people in the North, Middle Belt, are now joining their message together and speaking once as Christians. They have been undermined by a Muslim. How can you even have a Christian majority country and you have a Muslim ticket? It shows you how insensitive these Muslims are. This is just the truth. This is the truth. And when you talk about, no, don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about, but you're the first person doing a Muslim ticket, and you don't want them to think in a society where you must always situate balance. This is our problem. This is the problem in this country. And if you speak the truth, oh, you're not being patriotic. How are you supposed to be patriotic? By lying? No, patriotism, is it by lying? Patriotism is speaking the truth so that the things that aid society are not repeated tomorrow. That's patriotism. Patriotism is when you speak in service to the country, not in service to the government. So people seem to understand it. Patriotism is not loyalty to government, it's loyalty to country. And that's what we are. And as far as I'm concerned, I believe Nigeria will survive all this. Despite how much we have gone through, I have no doubt Nigeria will survive these challenges.
Thank you so much, sir. You've spoken so well. Let's take a few calls so I can release you. Phone lines are open, Nigerian 0817029. What's that number again? I always keep skipping that. Okay, 08170294077. That's the number to call. Let's quickly just have a few calls coming. If you have a question for Dr. Kaj, because some kind things got Dr. Kaj don't talk. My heart, my mouth, my everywhere self don't fool. Now wow. All right. Hello, good evening, and welcome. See White Danjuma, welcome.
Good evening. Good evening, Precious.
Happy Thanksgiving. So you ate your Thanksgiving turkey alone, Abi?
No. We had a gathering here, so we chop. I wish you did here, and Dr. Catch for giving a part of the vodka.
Forgive us the win.
Yes, make una check. Good evening, Doctor. How are you?
Thank you much. It's good to have you again.
Thank you. You're doing a great job. You are bold. You are not intimidated. You've been consistent in your points, and I think that it's only truth that can set Nigeria free. I like your optimism, even though I don't share so much of that optimism now, looking at what's happening in our country. But it's good to be optimistic. I have a question for you. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the statement by the Minister of Defense, who says, "Oh, we can't bomb the forest because the forest is bomb-proof. So there's no need for us to waste time. There's no need for America to go bombing the forest." And then a statement that is credited to Bayo Onanuga, who says that they will never forgive Peter Obi for acquiescing to American intervention to help solve a problem that the government has woefully failed to solve. Do you think? And then, if you look at Shegumi, who says that we should negotiate with them, we should even give them money. Do you think? And there's so many other things that, for want of time, I can say here. Almost saying the same thing. Do you think that this government is interested in fighting banditry? insurgency in Nigeria. Do you think that they're serious, or they're just playing a game with Nigeria? That's my question. Thank you.
Well, you need to look at the foundational reason for situating the terrorists in those places. Those places, the terrorists are the people who stay there. But you see, some of those people talking, like the ministers, you see, these are the patrons of this terrorists. The terrorists are not there because they want to be there. No. It is the democracy that forced this situation around. The first to come to Nigeria were the Portuguese. The second to come to Nigeria were the British. The last to come to Nigeria were the Fulani in 1804. After we had independence, the British left. Of course, the Portuguese left after the Berlin Conference, which now ceded Nigeria to the British. But the Fulani stayed behind. And all that time, they have been helped to stay over the Hausas in the Hausa Boko estates by the colonial system and then the military. Now, under the democracy, they don't have numbers. As I speak to you, some of these areas, you have this forest, are Hausa land. And Hausas have numbers like 80, in some places up to 92% of the indigenous populations of the state. But Hausas have no say. It is Fulanis there. So how, as we sustain the democracy, and as you're seeing, Hausas have started waking up. The Fulanis now feel that it's a need for them to take total control of those land spaces. That's why you see them invite these Fulanis from outside to come now to take over. But because we didn't give them land automatically, as Buhari sought for land, calling it grazing reserve, calling it cow colony, calling it Ruga, calling it consolidation of underground and surface water, they were now forced to stay, keep all those people in the bushes, and then start looking for how to get land. But when they couldn't get it, they now started this push. They started the push to take land by violence, and that's what they employed was the jihad. And of course, the Fulani jihad was already spreading across West Africa. The problem is the people invited, where do you situate them? Now, the minister you see saying this, he's also amongst the Fulani leaders looking for how they can get land to situate these people. So what you're seeing there is them doing the pushback that they did during Jonathan time. Of course, during Buhari, they were asking him to come everywhere. Remember how in Benue, the governor of Benue fought all over with them when Bello Bodejo, who came from Niger, set up his militias of Miet and Lakotohori in Nasarawa State and was using that to attack constantly the Benue Valley. These are the leaders who collectively think that's a good strategy. They were also using militias or the Gandokoi and the Tabuta Polaco. Now, it has gone bad that the international community has not given us their ears. How do you now expect them to displace those bandits? The bandits they've been using to successfully take land off communities. The bandits that they have so successfully taken land in Plateau, the governor said there are 64 communities currently Fulani militias, and in them, in some communities, the names have been changed. Same thing in Benue. Same thing you had, like an industrial scale ethnic cleansing action in southern Kaduna. Same problem we have in southern Borno, southern Gombe, southern Bauchi, in Plateau State, southern Kaduna, in Nasarawa. Of course, you hear about Niger State. You now hear what they did to Hausas in Katsina, to the extent that 20 local governments out of 34 have now been forced to sign an agreement, a memorandum of understanding with the bandits. With the bandits
Thank you, sir. Make let you answer another person's question. You don't take time to answer.
This is the problem.
I hope so you answer your question well.
So don't expect the patrons of the terrorists to say yes, let the terrorists be removed. They will tell you lies. But get rid of the terrorists. How then does he suggest we get rid of the terrorists? Take them back to their countries. They're not Nigerians. Let them go back to their countries. They have confessed they brought them here. First to use them to win election.
Yes.
Now they've gotten into power. You need land, and they don't have land to give.
Thank you, Dr. Catch. Let's quickly just speak to other people. Good evening, sir, and welcome.
Yeah, Precious, my dear.
Dennis.
My name is Dr. Frank.
Dennis.
Miami, Florida.
You're welcome, Dr. Frank. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I've been your supporter for a long time.
Oh, stop it. I like it.
No, it's from the kettle. You see it.
Thank you for
She boiled it already.
But the most important we are missing in this narrative of Nigeria today is what happened before the coup, after the coup, and during the war. The same narrative is what is permeating Nigeria today. Before then,
you see it. She boiled it. It's done.
How long ago was this? Okay, speak truth to the truth. During the war, all these Benue Plateau people, Gowon is from where? Plateau or Benue, I don't know. He's a Christian. Today, is he opening his mouth to talk? They shot him. Danjuma, who killed Ironsi? Danjuma was a boy to Ironsi. He killed Ironsi. Today, does he talk? We are going around and round and round and chasing our tail. Can somebody come and speak the truth? This genocide has started. It didn't start today. It started from independence. Okay? Prince Ahmadu Bello, whatever his name, say, want to give the Quran to the Atlantic. You think it stopped all of a sudden? Kachi is like a brother to me. I love him. I want him to be careful with his life. Whatever he is, I don't know where he is. If he wants to come to my house in US to hide, he's well welcome. Because he's only Nigerian that tells all the true story about Nigeria. Okay? Let me tell the truth. You, Precious too, if you want to come to my house to hide in the US, I'll file for you. You come. I know your husband will kill me, so forget that. Things we're doing today is because we've been lying to ourselves. Are these Benue Plateau people, are they not the same people that killed Ironsi? Are they not the same people that came and fought with the Fulanis to kill Biafra? So that's why today, sometimes sympathy, I'm a Christian, sympathy, I say, look at them now. Yeah? 60-something years later, they're realizing they're not with Hausa. Okay, the same thing when Sarawiwa was yapping and then Abacha killed him. He called Ojukwu for help. What did Ojukwu say? Oh, good morning, you just woke up. Sarawiwa, one of these days, I said, Igbos must leave Port Harcourt. I went to school in Port Harcourt. I know. So, Precious, all I'm telling you, Nigerians are lying to themselves. That's why we got to here today.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Kati is trying to change the narrative and make everybody palatable to get to the point. But my father used to say, don't lie to yourself. When I used to tell him, the book they tell us 7 authors or Stone and cousins in biology. I say Stone and his cousins, there are 5 people. He gave me money for 5 books. Why? I'm lying to myself. But my father, I didn't know my father knew that. He says, oh boy, stop lying to yourself. Nigerians have been lying to themselves since independence, since during the war, since after the war, and today is biting them in their butts. So Precious, you too be careful. I love you. I love your program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Speak the truth.
Thank
That's
you.
what I want.
Thank you so much, sir.
God bless you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, sir. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Yeah, good evening, President.
Sir?
Yeah, this is C2 calling from
C2 shoot. Fire very quickly, please. Thank you.
Yes. Dr. Kachi, I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Precious.
Sir?
I can feel the pain of my brother that called from the US. I feel his pain, and like as he said, let the truth be being told. But we cannot watch and we cannot see that despite whatever happened to us, some of our people still feel the pain. But someone like me, I don't want to see people die, bloodshed. And the reason why I called Dr. Cash, I want to ask you, I want to say there's 2 things I want you to look into. I don't know if you're familiar with this case I'm about to share with you now. This unknown gunman in the southeast is quite unfortunate that I keep hearing something like that in where a very big, beautiful state where we all came from. There's a scenario whereby a DSS man came out when Imo State were hot then. He came out, I don't know if you come across this scenario. It don't happen anyway. When he came out and posed as a non-government, he was unfortunately locked out of him. We were shot by a soldier. And later on, they now found out that he was a DSS officer. When they checked his wallet and saw his ID, the case was buried. So we tried to bring out that case, and Hope Uzodinma buried that case. They didn't want to say something because the guy posed as this unknown government when they used them to go and do all this scenario. I don't know if you know about that case. If you know about it, you can throw more light, but we do. The second one is, Dr. Kaj, there's something that bothers everybody now, particularly in Imo State. As I speak to you, you can do your own research. And Amnesty International have been dishing warning upon warning of the killing in particularly in Imo State, as I said to you now. But none of Igbo elite, the PGs, the Igwes, the politicians, they keep blind eyes of what is happening in Imo State currently now as I speak to you. There is this murderous killer called Tiger Base. I don't know if you heard about them. They're being called Tiger Base. And there is this guy handling the I don't know if you hear what I'm saying.
Just hurry up with your questions. He's hearing you. Please.
He worked with Amnesty International and make it clearly in national television that they want to make a documentary about that Tiger Base because there's a horrible things that is coming out from that Tiger Base. Why did you people keep quiet and watch that horror from that Tiger Base keep coming out when they kidnap people? The people build themselves with 4 million, 3 million. Why are we keeping quiet on such a horrible place that even Amnesty International were even saying that they haven't seen such a horrible thing? In a way,
it's okay. It's okay. If you just direct, sir. Time is already fast spent. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That is my question for him. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Dr. Katch, would you like to react to that before we have tons of other people calling?
Yes, yes.
Please.
The issue about Tiger Base is the problems of the Nigerian police. It is not just for Imo State. It's all over the country. It was because of the operations of the Nigerian police that the youths embarked on NSAS. The police were being used to harass youths. If they see the youths dressed in a certain way, they have calls on their, then they have laptops, they are stopped and harassed. Of course, they were Christian youths with hairstyles. I wouldn't go against that. It's nothing. In my family, my second son has a hair like that. Today, he is a father and he's made me a grandfather. So there's nothing big about young people having hairstyles, but that hairstyle was particular. It's a hairstyle worn mostly by Christian youths who choose to express themselves in fooding from the hair. And that is covered in our laws by freedom of association. So I don't really see a thing about it. Yes, the excesses of the police are known across Nigeria. Tiger Base is a special police unit in Imo State. I agree. They may do arrests, and as you rightly say, they have heavy, what do you call it now, bailing money. Well, thank God, the excess is that of money that they take when they bail. There are other places where people are arrested and they miss, and you don't see them. And you don't see them.
Thank you so much.
So
let's quickly speak to other people. All right, sir. Thank you. And please help me turn up the volume of your listening device, sir. It's too high, so we can hear you. Can you hear us? Hello, sir. Are you there? Yes. Please turn off the volume of your listening device so we can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. I just want to thank you very much, Precious. For
Thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from? Thank you, sir.
I'm Andrew, calling from Canada.
You're welcome, Mr. Andrew. Go ahead.
Yes. And I also want to appreciate Dr. Kachi. I mean, somebody I've respected his views long ago. I want to appreciate it. I hope I have the opportunity of talking to him again. Let me be fast. I just want to make 3 points. The fundamentals of our problem in Nigeria are based on one, our foundation. We don't have a constitution. A nation cannot exist without a constitution. The constitution we currently run is not the national, it's not the constitution of we the people of Nigeria. And unfortunately, no leader, not even Obasanjo, has tried to address this. We can't have a country without a constitution. This was written by Professor Yadudu and a few of his colleagues and some other southern lackeys, and enforced on the civilian government that came in 1999. It should have since undergone changes. Jonathan tried in 2014. And because
with the confab,
the national with the confab, because they came out with findings that did not satisfy the powers that be, so to say, Buhari come in and threw it under the carpet, and our people kept quiet.
No, it's not does being when King go keep us in there, the thing belong.
Exactly. So we must try and go back to our constitution. If we address the issue of the constitution of this country, if we want to go ahead as one country. The other issue I want to raise is the issue of the governors. Everybody says, oh, the powers belong to the governors, but the governors are not taking the initiative, particularly our governors in the south. Yes, they have security votes. What have they done with it? General T.Y. Danju, my much respected, decorated military officer, sounded their alarm from the beginning. Defend yourself. One would have thought that various governors would, one way or the other, prepare their people for all the carnage. Our forests would not have been taken over as they are today. But none didn't. They were all flat-footed. And now they allow the people to be crying and accusing the federal. If the states were doing what they would do or what they should have done, the situation would not have been this bad.
Thank you. Thank you.
The third quickly is the East-West cooperation. East and West, the Hausas and the Igbos and Yorubas. You see, there's one thing the so-called oligarchy in the North fears most. It is the East-West cooperation. They have fought all through the ages to make sure that doesn't happen. And now they're using the Yoruba. When we're talking about people in the West attacking the Igbos, it's not the entire West. It's the Muslims. They're using their people there to make sure that the Igbos don't agree with Yoruba. And the general picture we all see is that, oh, the Igbos have been persecuted in Yoruba and in Lagos. It's not all the Yorubas. From my observation, I stayed in Yoruba a good part of my life, just like I stayed in the North for 14 years. You see, so that is the whole idea. The East-West cooperation, they must agree because the Middle Belt doesn't have any back, anywhere to lay their back. Because when they look at the South, it is disunity and disarray. And then they look up north, those are the people that seem to. That's why the Middle Belt is hanging. If the East-West cooperate very well, it's easy to get the Middle Belt on their side, of just like it was in the 2014 confab. The Middle Belt agreed with the East-West, and that's why they got some of those resolutions, got those changes in the Constitution, which the so-called Far North refused to accept.
Thank you.
So these are my points. We should look into that, and then that is the basis of the unity. I appreciate Dr. Kachi's optimism that, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's speak to someone else, please. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Good evening, Dr. Inema. You're welcome.
Hello, Ms. Precious. Happy Thanksgiving to you and to Dr.
Now you
Kachi.
Thanksgiving, not be me, not happy meal. Now you they happy.
Okay, well, Dr. Kachi, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much.
Okay, whenever you guys come in, we'll accept you people to have a good time with us. By the way, World Cup is coming next year. You guys are welcome to come in.
All right.
So, Dr. Kachi, I really appreciate the knowledge that you have on this thing in Nigeria. But my question to you is, I hope that you have somebody who is behind you. I mean, somebody who is the next generation. Because this thing that you're telling us, some of us is history, some of us is good. Who is going? Do you have any person or is there any group of people that is behind you or below you who are younger people who can continue to to pass this information or pass this your explanation to the next generation? Is there any group of people that you are aware of, or that you are bringing up, or that you are coaching? Because whatever this thing you are saying is very, very important. Very, very important. That's my question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. All right, he'll respond to you. Let's quickly take someone else's reaction too, so that we can just let him sum up all together. Good evening, Mr. Edwin. Thank you so much and welcome. Let's have you shoot as quick as you can, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Precious. Good evening. Thank you very much, Dr. Nanuju. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
You know, the speaker, the man who spoke before the last gentleman, spoke exactly my mind. You know, those are issues I wanted to raise. And you know, there are issues that I've often raised whenever I've come on board your program. You know, we cannot do anything without the Constitution. That Constitution was written by Professor Awali Yadudu. He didn't do it in conjunction with others. He only just brought in some staff of the Federal Ministry of Justice. They wrote it, Abacha endorsed it, and then he suddenly died. So when Abdusalam Abubakar came, Professor Awali Yadudu, there is a classmate of mine who was in the legal department there. They wrote this, they just handed it over to Obasanjo. You know, what has pained me in the inception, or since the inception of the fourth democratic practice, that is since 1999, is the failure of the Southern presidents, Obasanjo and Jonathan, the two of them. If these two presidents had taken a firm grip, a firm hold on affairs to make sure that constitution was thrown out and a fresh, brand new constitution written for Nigeria, we would be where we are today. In all ramifications, whether politically, economically, and that, we would be. What are the Northerners afraid of? Why don't they want to change? It's because the military had so carved Nigeria, they've so balkanized Nigeria to the advantage of the core Northerners, the Fulanis in particular, Hausa Fulani that we used to say. So they said that they can no longer come to the realization that this country ought to have been a federal republic. Federal republic, you said you have the states. What is federal about the states? So that is just the bottom line. Until we go back there, can you imagine if INEC were to be independent, if the judiciary were to be independent, and if the states, the entire 36 states, were to be independent, just like what you have in the US, where you have each states, they have their own Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, everything independent. Can you imagine how development would have gone in Nigeria? Do you think this haggard-looking Fulani herdsmen will come and be killing my people in Delta State? It will not have happened. Now we are talking about state police. People are afraid. Oh, we don't want state police. We don't want state police. What then do you think we are going to implement to have an effective federation? Nothing. So the Constitution is the bedrock. Until we revisit that Constitution, if we don't do it, come what may come, everything that we are talking about, all our proposals will come to naught, because nothing is going to change if we don't go to that Constitution. Just like what the gentleman said. In fact, it looks as if I had a word with him or we've spoken before. In fact, I would like to even have a contact with that man. It looks as if he has an insight into what is really happening.
You don't talk your mind. Make we let you,
No, I still have something to
hurry up.
Yeah, just Dr. Ju. Precious, make you wait. This is my opportunity to talk to Dr. Nanuju. I want to tap from his knowledge. We're all learners. Whenever he's on board there, I always crave to hear him, because I know he talks senses. You know, I am an international policy scholar. I know exactly what I'm talking about. But one thing I really want to talk to Dr. Nanuju about, which I am a bit not comfortable with, the assertion that the Christians in Nigeria are more than the Muslims. It is not correct. I want to beg your pardon on that. I want to differ from you on that assertion. It is not correct. I think by what is on ground, by what we know about the Nigerian setup, I have been to virtually all parts of Nigeria. I think the Muslim population are more than us, the Christians. It's just that we are probably smarter and better than them in all ramifications. And all they want to do is to suppress the status quo. Don't forget Babangida put us into IOC in, was it 1986 or 87? I can't exactly remember the time now. That issue has never been revisited. Why did Babangida do that? And then Southern elements just coalesced and supported him. What do you think happened? You know, that was why B2Q lost his job. That was why I was kicked out of the Supreme Military Council, if you have forgotten. At least I remember that way. Babangida did that because of the statistics or whatever I was told he got. And from my own knowledge of Nigeria, I think the Muslims are more than us, if we are going to be realistic with it. So that assertion, I think you need to revisit it. I would like to hear more on that from you. Thank you very much.
Good. Before you go far, let me help you.
Okay, sir.
Our population is about 103 million.
Okay.
I'm a data man. I'm a man of data. Our population as a country is about 103 million.
103 million Nigerians, no more 203
103 million. Forget the bogus nonsense they write.
So we know
that's why. No, forget that nonsense. That's why when they brought beavers so that you can be biometrically authenticated before you can vote, the magic numbers disappeared, and they shut down the what's this called, and they started using hand. This thing I've told you now about our population.
You mean saying that beavers now waiting make you not see those, say those votes will receive from those,
because the beavers didn't allow.
So now
the beavers
millions of votes.
With beavers, you must be biometrically authenticated before you can vote. So those phantom numbers you think you know, don't take my words. Ask other people who deal with data. You go through school enrollment, you go through correlate school enrollment and population density. Check bank records and population density. A lot of things that we have checked. Today I'm saying it on television. Our number is about 103 million. Ask those who have. So forget all the stories they tell you. They don't.
If I may ask, how did we come to that number of 103 million if we haven't conducted census?
Well, they just upgrade, the largest city with the most population in Nigeria is Lagos.
Yes, that's true.
People live in the south than they live in the north. A satellite to Kano. Apart from the Kano, no one lives anywhere. This is the truth. Please don't get deceived with all the stories, because the strategy is the more they tell you, then you probably just relax and take it. More people live in southern Nigeria than there are in the north. More people. This is the only country along the equator where soldiers and flyers tell us more people live in the desert areas than where there's water. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true.
Thank you.
Well, I am going to do more research, but because I studied a lot of those populations.
My brother, I'm a data man. I live in the north.
Yeah.
I work with data.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kashmir. I'm sure that he's answered your question.
As I told you.
So, Dr. Kashmir, others.
Precious, I would like to talk about the Niger Delta governance. I just want to just a line, just a line. Yeah, Precious, don't worry, we'll take care of you. Just a statement or two. The Niger Delta governors, or the South, let me say Niger Delta, because this includes Imo State and another state, Ondo State.
Niger Delta means a geographical area.
Yes.
And it includes the Deltaic tributaries of the Niger River.
Exactly.
Anambra State, Delta State, Anambra State. These are Niger Delta.
Yeah.
Imo
I just want to talk. I just want to talk about the. Yeah, I just want to talk about the 13%.
Delta State, to an extent, Edo State, of course, Ondo State, Akwa Ibom State, Cross River State.
Exactly.
These are the states within the deltaic tributaries of the Niger River.
Niger Delta.
In that area, you have the largest occurrence of offshore water, oil in Akwa Ibom. The largest occurrence of onshore hydrocarbon is within a place called the Oshimiri. The Igbos call it Oshimiri Obaro. In English, it's called the Obaro Basin. It takes from Obaro, where Peter Obi lives, where he hails from, in Andoni. That Andoni you hear is an Igbo word for Ndoni, Ndioniyi, the people of the waterfront. And then you also come to the Obaro that is there in Atani area of Anambra State. So you see, you have Obaro in Rivers, you have Obaro also in Anambra State. In the middle of it is the largest occurrence of gas in a deposit anywhere in Africa. It is located in a place called Asa in Ohaji in Imo State. That area is called the Oshimiri Obaro. It is called the Obaro Basin. It has the largest occurrence of gas. The gas just in that Ohaji makes up 80% of the entire recorded gas. Yet, when President Buhari built in his own mindset the national gas pipeline, he did not add the pipeline anywhere in the southeast of Nigeria. We have a problem as a country.
Yeah.
How can you build gas pipeline, pass gas pipe, and you didn't pass gas from the place where you have up to 86% of the gas occurrence in the country? Don't you see that Nigeria has an issue? Why do we create problem everywhere?
And that is why the Constitution has to be written by us, not the one given to us by anybody. We have to indicate whether we want to be together. Yeah.
Right now, the country is captured. We have a state capture achieved by a Sunni minority. Based on what you're talking about, those constitutions, don't believe lies. Nigeria till tomorrow morning remains a Christian majority country. Nobody has changed.
That's why I said I will do my own. I will do research. I will come back and substantiate your assertion or your claim. What I really wanted to pinpoint is the activities of former governors from 1999, even to date. 13% derivation revenue to
please don't go there. Don't go there. There is stealing everywhere. Don't appoint those people wearing white shirts. When the country gets well, we'll fix it. Please don't.
No, but we should start. We're crying that there are no developments in the Niger Delta, but we are getting 13% extra budget allocation every month. And then we have the Niger Delta Ministry, and then the MDDC, and then there is nothing to show in my village from the activities or from the funds derivable or accruable from the center towards the development of my people, the entire Niger Delta. And that is not fair. So these people must be held accountable, including the current Senate president. Most of these governors who were there, they looted. They stole all those revenues. All of them must be held accountable. On the day of reckoning, these people to be held accountable. People like Ibori are there in Delta State. Even Dr. Odili, you mentioned all these governors, those that have ruled any of those Niger Delta states from 1999 to date, should be held accountable. And what we'll be fighting about now to be the Constitution. That is all.
We will go there. But first, let us be alive.
What we'll be alive. We'll be alive. The Americans will come. The Americans will come. They've given a template to Tinubu. I'm aware of that. They've given him templates. Tinubu compromised. Tinubu bought his presidency. He compromised. And now that the secrets have been leaked, he is now finding it very difficult and uncomfortable to live with all his attention were focused on 2027 rather than providing good governance and leadership. So he is going to follow suit the way of all those other African countries. Like as I've always said, something will give if care is not taken. If this insecurity situation continue to nosedive and deteriorate the way it is, something will give. And I'm very sure of that. What it will be, I don't know. I don't know. But something is going to happen. So Tinubu is aware of that. So he can do whatever he likes.
Edwin, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Precious, good night. Thank you very much. Dr. Nanuju, I will come back with my facts. Maybe later we'll debate about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
all right.
Good night.
Good evening and welcome, please.
My name is Raf Abba. I'm calling from Georgia.
You're welcome, Mr. Raf. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I just want to say that you are doing a great job.
Eh.
Yes, because I wonder how you are able to take all of these things, because even here, I get sick.
No, our mental health gets our mental heads in question when they try. That's why I always tell us to protect our mental health.
You are doing great, and this Dr. Cash is doing great too.
Thank you.
But basically, I want to talk about, he's like being sure that Nigeria is going to get better. But
to do what? Go now. Shoot, we hear you.
Anything in the house? I want to try on the new oil.
You want to buy fried oil?
Let us end it now.
Buy something, let's fry it.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. You've expressed your mind. So let's see, while he's still speaking, if I can talk to one more person before I wrap up. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Choose something here that will fry.
Good evening, welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're welcome. Go ahead, please, very quickly.
Cooked by other people. You can fry them, fry potatoes. I love to eat what we cook.
Yes, he's now an ADC member. Yes, sir.
Okay. I wanted to ask Dr. Cash if you can talk to me, if you can explain a bit more about that El-Rufai character, because I was watching a commentary like a news some days ago. The way they were analyzing El-Rufai, that he has committed more atrocity while he was in governor and is a part of this Fulani Islamic, whatever they are saying that he has a part in it and all that.
Okay.
But on the other hand, he's not dancing to Peter Obi now, something like that or thereabout. If you can shed more light on it as well.
Thank you. All right. So Dr. Cash, the first person did say that they talk say Nigeria go better. Say when Nigeria won't better. Say it be like say they very optimistic, say Nigeria go better. But we know more. And then this other person is asking that. I mean, El-Rufai picked up his ADC tickets today, and the person said that if you can speak about the character of El-Rufai, especially considering that people think that there's no governor that has committed the level of massacre of like El-Rufai has, and he even made it open. He owned up to it at some point, like with the Muslim thing and some claims that he made. That's what people are saying. So would you like to react to that, especially because of his closeness to Peter Obi? What does that
Yes. Well, it's not his closeness to Peter Obi. El-Rufai met me placed under the Buhari presidency. But you need to understand, politics is a church. In church, you're not looking for the righteous people. It's the sinners, so that you can convert them. In politics, the bad people, they come from everywhere. It is not me. Anything that you claim El-Rufai has done, which I know most of it to be real, it is the state. When the state does not touch him, as you can see, they were able to get Nnamdi Kanu, prison, did what they did, and then after that, and I said, where is the law they are using on the Kano. A repeat law. Can somebody now be judged or sentenced by a law that's been repeated? I don't know about that. Supreme Court will say. So El-Rufai is part and parcel of the Nigerian state, part and parcel of the Fulani conundrum, which we've been going about. How am I supposed to tell the state what to do? The issue of El-Rufai is not my own. That El-Rufai is warming himself up to Peter Obi, that's simply what's the phenomenon going on in the country. Most people who didn't like Peter Obi before, because he was like a hurricane that nobody could hold, are now coming to meet him. Just like the guy I told you before, whom I had not met. I only saw him on the screen. But you saw how me and him, our paths met. And he started saying, I suffer from degenerative disease. Yet between me and him, I am fine. I don't fire blanks. His problem, why that crisis came that we talked, was because he has had 2 divorces. And the women were abandoning him because he was firing blank. I am a grandfather. I have 5 children. He doesn't have. So you could imagine such a person now calling me someone with degenerative disease, because
are you saying that
begging.
the person in question is
The problem? Listen, everybody has. He's not new to it. What brought that crisis, you see us discussing, was his father-in-law chased him out of the house where he was living, and he needed a house. So when he came to my principal said, "Look, what do we do?" I said, "Your Excellency, it's in your hands."
Hey, that is his father-in-law in this particular marriage he's in now, not another marriage.
That is the last father-in-law. And then the guy said, "Let us get you a flat." He said, no, he wants a duplex. Even as he went to Atiku, they still gave him money for duplex.
But wait, why should his
father-in-law? And that was why I'm begging him. So come what he want. Listen, people come through challenges, and that was the challenge that got us to this crisis. So when Peter couldn't give him the money he wanted for a duplex, Peter suggested a flat. He said no. That was what started all that crisis. And he started saying, I had degenerative disease. I don't. He is the one that fires blank. I'm in marriage. I have children. So this is, but I didn't want to discuss those things.
When you want to fill in the blank spaces, nothing fills in the space.
Well, you know, some men have this problem in life. God doesn't bless everybody with everything. Some people, when they shoot with their women at night, they shoot blanks. I don't.
But would it not look like you're using his condition, if that is true, that he has a condition?
That is exactly why I didn't mention it to you at the heat of those discussions. But I'm just trying to tell you now that different people come with different issues, different problems. But when we just talk in public, we rub it all off and we forget about it. I am trying to restate to you right now. People suffer several things when they meet you in public. You don't use it against them, as I didn't use it against him then. So when he was saying, I suffer from degenerative disease, I laughed. I said, look at this Okoko. Where carry disease all over. And that's why he's had 2 marriages, because he fires blanks. I don't. I have children. I'm a grandfather. So I asked myself, I said, now, wow, how precious they asked me this kind of question. Now I can't laugh. I said, now, wow, for this kind of problem. But this is Nigeria. So now talking about El-Rufai's issue. Everybody carry K-leg. Don't be the one where they start to interrogate. Make people, your story come there for public. So the political space is like a church. Anybody can come. So even though El-Rufai has bad name, who are the people that belong to the same camp that Americans say they are coming? That's why you see, why did ADC? I said, what will Atiku's people say? They are the ones who don't want the Americans here. So no matter what political brand you are, you will always try to protect the interests of those you think are your primary constituents. This is what the problem in Nigeria is. So me, I knew that was my.
Peter Obi will not affect Peter Obi politically. That's actually what people worry about.
No, listen to me. What will affect Peter Obi? Peter Obi is like a church. Everybody is welcome to come into that church. You're not going to blame the bishop because of the diversity of parishioners that came to his church. And no bishop stops different kind of, even armed robbers from coming to their church. Armed robbers come to church to seek deliverance. That's what it is. What if the man you're talking about now has been with bad people, and that's why he's been the way you think? Good.
Yeah, so but what people worry about is the fact that it may be difficult to change an ideology, really. That's actually what
it is not my business. It is for the state. As the state is trying now to wake up to its responsibility, as I say, to wake up to their responsibility. If the time me and you were discussing this thing about the man who had insulted me, if I said those things openly, plainly, you will know that people will call us for meetings and say, why don't you talk like this? But I kept it to myself. That's why I told you during that program, I said, please don't abuse this market where I want to sell.
Now, what's you talk then, sir?
That was what I said. I said, leave it and move.
Say, make I ask you. Somebody they even ask you, say, make I ask you, say, what's you they talk now? You mean say the person still they live in bondage?
Listen to me.
That is the person who's living in bondage.
I don't understand. It is everybody has his own mark. I'm not perfect. There are places where I'm also a baddie. Just like when in the PDP, they beg me, I say I no agree. Then even Peter begged me, I no agree. I say, you don't, you say, and let us move. And we moved. Who knew that what we started that time will now be embraced by a lot of young people in an organic form? And then we now built a brand new movement politically that changed the politics of Nigeria. I'm still here. And this is the game. So the British say
this way you they talk now. People go talk say you know being doctor. How you use no say person the fire blank when nobody being doctor.
I'm not listening to me. What I'm telling you, don't believe me. Ask privately. Don't take my word. Just ask privately.
That is evidential. It is evidential.
Listen, don't talk to me. Don't ask me. Just ask privately. No, be me. You don't go hear them from me. That's why you say they talk. I need to call name. But I'm just trying to tell you, if I'd mentioned this thing that time, elders will end up calling all of us to say, why are people disgracing yourself in public? But that is me. I decided to keep those things, and I beg you, whatever it is, leave this woman who I want fine husband for. And since you don't come meet me, you don't do, I'm the woman, you get some character, you know, make you move on. I'm just trying now to share with you, every man gets his own care leg. But don't let people use that your care leg as a discussion subject in a marketplace. And that was why you saw at the heat of that argument, me and you had that thing. I didn't say this thing, Pim, but that was it. I didn't want to say it. I admitted that's a fault that can happen to any man, but that is just the problem. That is just the problem. And for me, I'm now using it to give you an analogy that no matter the kind of care leg any man get, once the person is in a church, that's where he should be. The church doesn't select. A political party doesn't select.
So now when to make error 5 if he come, if he enter church, nothing they happen. Maybe that church when go take will finally help change the ideology self, make your mind change smaller.
Now you're talking. That church he comes into will now force him to change his ways. Church can just because of the way you will change your way. Okay? I'm a public intellectual. And the reason why I told people I will never support Atiku is because of the Fulani war. I've told you that before. You cannot support a Fulani man to succeed Buhari because we are in the middle of a Fulani war. That was my reason. And that's why I started the movement in the PDP. And then I got Peter. Peter said, no, he won't run against Atiku. He's his friend. He's this. I said, okay. And I went to talk to some Igbo leaders. Ochendo, Chief SNOK. I went to talk to Okwadike late now. A lot of people. And some of them said, okay, let's call your friend and see. This is your party. What is saying they happened for Napa. Told them what was going on in our party and the reasons why I don't think anybody from the North should succeed Buhari. They agreed with me. And before you knew it, they built an obedient movement. So people came and met us. Some have left. Some have left. Some even asked why I'm not angry with Peter. I said, no. Peter, tell Peter, thank you for saying yes. What if I do all that and nobody follow me? Then I go just be waiting to get candidate. I got candidate. It filled me. And from everything. If you could see moringa, some of the seed, maybe I go like maybe the leaves. I go take and make a beverage. And so it be. Somebody go now see what it is.
Moringa they help.
Oh yes. Somebody can see what you call it. Lemon. Somebody go say no, and the flesh you want. I go say I want everything, even the back. You take different things from things that you see and you move on and leave that issue. So like that issue happened and I begged you, I say, waiting be my own concern. I get a girl where I want to sell. And since they never buy them, make that my man no con spoil them. No, besides I tell you. And I moved on. But I'm not sharing with you things I didn't want to say that time because if I said it, it will end up with elders calling out to say,
because this one isn't the palatable, and this one not the palatable at all. People will look and say,
that's why I no agree talking for public. So if that's why you say they talk and they call name. So you can since me and you know.
Now wait till make me say person ask that question whether the person still they live in bondage. Is the person still living in bondage?
Well, this is a bondage problem, and me I don't know. What is a bondage to you might not be bondage to another man who has gotten used to the life. Is the truth.
Okay.
What you call is a bondage to other people are not to be, might just be a way of life. But don't take my words. Ask privately in the industry. You go see, say, you go get the real story. You don't concern me. That's why I no go talk up. Mama, shut up. That's it be.
Dr. Catch, I'm gonna make a leave. You don't close church. You don't
Thank you very much. I don't close church,
Close church. Thank you so much, sir. Hope to see you next week, Thursday. It's been an amazing session with you. Thank you for always enlightening us, especially on how to move this country forward and for the deep root of things that happen for inside our country. I hope our eyes will continue to open for the realities of things that happen for our country. And one day, the message will reach home. I don't think any of us want this country to be stagnant.
You see why I am always optimistic.
I see your optimism because
you cannot say this.
He's not happy about your optimism. You're always optimistic that Nigeria will work, irrespective of Do
you know why?
Yes, sir.
Why I say so is because our problem is not northern Nigeria. Our problem is not the Muslims. Our problem is the Fulani. So if we gather, we see them, we can deal with it. And I'm not looking at it say everybody kill them and burn us. No. Once you notice that problem, as you're seeing that, not be me and you they discuss what happened for Bayelsa.
Yes, sir.
If what happened in Bayelsa can be replicated in Edo, in Delta, in Ondo, in Oyo, before you know, then go advise themselves by themselves. This is how life is.
They go use their tongue, count their teeth. They go let
Of course.
Hey.
Nobody, me and you don't go Bayelsa. Now then they take their mouth, tell us what happened. You see, so there's nothing wrong with other people learning to use unusual strategies to solve this unusual issue. But the important thing in this is what me and you are doing. Sensitization of the people. First, you sensitize. Then you organize. From there, people bring suggestion and you act. That's how society works.
Thank you. Thank you so immensely, sir. God bless you. Looking forward to seeing you next week, Thursday, God willing. Protect your mental health. I'd always tell everybody to protect their mental health because Nigeria matter feel wrong person mad. I beg, help us protect your mental health, sir. Thank you, sir. And congratulations. I didn't know you were a granddad. Congrats to you.
I
want to be like you.
My son just had another son in Leicester, England.
I will be like you when I grow up, or if no more than you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Always a pleasure to have you. And don't worry, one day we'll make you proud. Thank you, sir. Good night and God bless you.
Thank you.
All right, Nigerians.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, dear, you were saying something. Yeah, thank you. Let me see. Oh, you were saying something. So I was saying thank you very much. I think I caught it.
Thank you very much for having me. I said.
Thank you, sir. All right, Nigerians, that's the size of our package. The package this evening. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who's made the show a success. It's always a delight to sit down for inside this place to talk Nigeria matter with other, so that one day our Nigeria go better. All of us want the good of this country. All of us. I'm not just saying get any of us we don't want the good of this country. If it isn't because of saying they Nigeria and anything will happen for Nigeria, no country go treat you like first class citizen reach your country. Nigeria is sweet die. It's sweet die well. Now make the country for feel better for all of us because we enjoy it. And I want to make we just want to make our leaders do the right thing. Those things what they see for those of the evil countries, make they come put up for our country, make our own country good. And they not do us, they not curse us. Make we self follow and enjoy like say we'll be human beings. So let's continue to speak for the growth and development of our country. My name is Precious Enyi, and it's always a delight to be with you. By the way, have I told you? Enyi means friend, and I love to be your friend till the end. I'll see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. Protect your mental health. I may be a bit early tomorrow evening because I'm about to hit the road again. So I may be a bit early, quite early tomorrow, but I'll keep you in touch. In all of this, protect your mental health because he who worries about Nigerian problem and runs away lives to worry another day. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Good night and God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.